Ready.
Assemble the accused! Bear witness to their trials! The time of the Inquisition is now at hand. Putting pop culture to the rack, the Inquisition calls to account the events of the week, rooting out heresy wherever it is found. I am Grand Inquisitor Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and joining me for tonight's torture is Nerdrotic Channel's Grand Inquisitor, Gary Beekler. Gary, it is great to hear from you tonight, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It is great to be here on Doomcock's channel. Hail Doomcock. Hail Doom Chat. Ready to talk about how stupid Hollywood is. It's a weekly occurrence, and it's fun.
Hollywood is dumb. This is the theme that you and I came up with as we were chatting here, getting ready. And it really is true. Hollywood, I don't know what in God's name is going on with Hollywood, but we're gonna crank on this. It all ties into cancel culture and perversion of existing franchises, i.e. Lord of the Rings, literally perverted. It's going to have apparently a ton of nudity, which generally I'm in favor of, but Lord of the Rings, I mean, the Lord of the Rings was not set partially in Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion grotto. I don't recall a lot of hot torrid sex scenes in Lord of the Rings, and I don't know what they're thinking, except, hey, generic elves, halflings, orcs, nudity, Game of Thrones. That's basically all they're thinking, and it's kind of sad, isn't it, Gary? I mean, Jesus Christ, you don't want to see a lot of nudity and fornicating elves and scissoring halflings, do you?
No, and J.R.R. Tolkien wouldn't want to see it. Christopher Tolkien wouldn't want to see it. I would say the vast majority of the Lord of the Rings fandom doesn't want to see it of any kind. And that's what's being pushed here. And it's a good tease for my next video, which will be out.
Oh, outstanding. Tomorrow, huh?
Tomorrow-ish. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it was supposed to be out today, but then,
life.
Stuff. Life. Yeah. So they hired the intimacy coordinator, and this was a rumor, but they hired one. They actually fracking hired one. So there is, I mean, again, I'm not a scholar. Okay. I'm just a Lord of the Rings fan. And as I scour through stuff, I'm finding new things all the time. There's people who know a hell of a lot more about it than I do. But I'm just a fan. Right. So sure. I do know that there's like, a guy married his cousin, right, to become king, or Farazan. So like, maybe they could do so, like there's too many things that are left wide open from the Silmarillion and the Unfinished Tales, and obviously the appendices, because they're just it's just a history. You're not actually telling a story with dialogue, and you're like, this person did this at this time on this place, and this thing happened, and it's up to Amazon to interpret what people said. Like, what did he say to marry his cousin? Was she cool with it? I don't know. And did they consummate the marriage, or was it like, these are things we don't need to know, because there's a lot of dark, weird stuff from the Silmarillion, but it's mythological. It's, dare I say, biblical, but it's not what Game of Thrones is, which is nihilism, postmodernism, breaking tropes. Right. And fundamentally, that's why George R. Martin can't finish his book, because he set out to do his own thing. But part of the reason was to break the tropes of fantasy and Tolkien. But when you set out to build something by breaking something, then how in the hell do you have a foundation? Right. So that's what they're trying to make. They're trying to fit in this square peg into a round hole. Jeff Bezos wanted his Game of Thrones. He wants event television. He wants water cooler television. And he can put every single cent of his $1 trillion company into the show, and he can't create that. There's no way you can create that. You can try, but your motivation should be, I am going to make the best story possible, and everything else. That's where if you make the best story possible, that will make it the most accessible to the most people, and that will make it a worldwide success if the fandom loves it. And the fandom has to love it, not just kind of like it. They have to love it. Argue whatever you want about Snyder fans. Snyder fans love, fucking love Man of Steel, Superman, Batman versus Superman. They love it passionately, insanely. That's what makes a franchise. That's what makes billion-dollar franchises and event television. And quite frankly, the MCU and Game of Thrones might be the last two franchises, period. Because I don't think a corporation is capable of making them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't make it by committee.
It's not inspiration. It's not genius. It is marketing. It is, merchandising. It's ancillary concerns centered around the narrative. But somehow at these corporations, they don't really have people that will make good narratives in the first place. And of course, then the ancillary marketing and merchandising kind of shoots off into the void. It just goes down the toilet. And that's kind of where we are, a dearth of inspiration, but a surfeit of greed. And somehow they think that they can keep going woke and somehow that's going to fill the coffers. I've got news for them, get woke, go broke is not a catchphrase for no reason. It's a catchphrase because it's true and it's happened over and over again. And, I think that Lord of the Rings is going to be woke, and it's going to have, oddly enough, nudity, lots of it, apparently. If they have to have a coordinator, it's not just like one scene, not a random butt, in the elven prison shower or anything. No, it's going to be, Cirque du Soleil, it's going to be, swinging from the chandeliers, bare ass, butt naked, and I don't know. Sauron is going to have a Sauron. You know what I mean? A Haron. It's just. Well, I have no hope for Lord of the Rings now.
That's the biggest mistake of them all. There's so many. For one, Amazon's just repeating mistake after mistake after mistake, and what they're doing is throwing producers at the problem and project managers, and that's what corporations do. They have committees, they have meetings, but the Lord of the Rings trilogy was the greatest trilogy ever made because a bunch of wacky guys and gals got together and, convinced a bunch of people to give them money because they wanted to make something they loved and didn't want to change it. They wanted to make it as close to what they thought Tolkien's Lord of the Rings was. Of course, they made changes that Tolkien probably would have hated, but they made the greatest trilogy of all time. Now we are going to set out to do this, and instead of the people trying to hustle up the money, it's the money makers hiring the creatives, and quite often these decision makers who are bankers who go to Manhattan cocktail parties and hear about Ta-Nehisi Coates, and they hire somebody who's antithetical to their brand. Ta-Nehisi Coates, if you would have asked him 10 years ago, do you like Superman? Do you like Captain America? He would have said, I hate them. Because he does. So why do you have, why do you have a guy writing for hates it? So, I can't say this for Lord of the Rings. I know there's Breaking Bad writers there and stuff, which are good for Breaking Bad. I don't necessarily think it's good for fantasy, for Tolkien fantasy, which has an innocence to it, right?
Yes. That's exactly what the point that I was going to make. I was going to ask you, I generally regard you as the expert in the Inquisition on Tolkien and Lord of the Rings. I know about it obviously, but I think you know a lot more. And I was going to just say, is this consistent with the tone of this kind of magical land of Middle Earth? Sure, it had evil in it. Sure, it had orcs and creatures, but there was a core of essential innocence. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a fairy tale, but it definitely is a period with nobler ideals and purer motivations. It's a story about friendship, about loyalty, dare I say fellowship. and nudity and Game of Thrones level of cruelty and all the shit that Bad Robot just wants to slather on it like a fucking, you know, shit cake disguised as chocolate. These things, there's no way that you can have anything faithful to Tolkien if you're going to introduce these kind of more adult and cynical elements into this thing. Just like, you know, Star Trek Discovery is completely inconsistent with Roddenberry's theme of optimism and utopia. Is there any hope at all for this show, or is it just totally screwed?
I think if there's hope, it's, and I have it. Okay. It's a fool's hope. It's a fool's hope. It is. I mean, just based on everything we've seen, there's, okay. Over the last few years, we've watched Disney, not put Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together. We've seen Star Trek, instead of trying to have a black female lead stand on her own, shoehorned her into Spock's story. We've seen a female doctor replace a male doctor because they didn't feel like a female character could stand on her own, and they just did it for political purposes. Why shouldn't we believe this is going to be a complete fucking disaster? It's the same ilk involved. Jennifer Salk is the one who's making this decision. She's the one who canceled, you know, and this is, you know, through Midnight's Edge. She canceled fucking this great Ryan Condell Conan series that, like, by all accounts, everybody would have loved because it was too fracking masculine. So she actually believes, because they actually, you know, because they deal with so much money, they think they know things they don't know. And listen, Jennifer Salk could forget more about entertainment, the industry, than I will ever know. I understand that, but I know fans. I am one. I'm a paying customer, and that is the one thing she will never understand. And you can't just throw fucking money at something and create love and think this is going to happen. You can't create a Lord of the Rings devoid of masculinity and traditional heroism. I just don't, you know, there's elements, and they could certainly twist it, and don't think they won't. Tom Shippey was around for The Hobbit, and they put in that ridiculous love triangle. And that was purely done for intersectional feminism. All the imagery was there. You know, Worf, a shorter man with a stronger, more powerful woman, and like she saved him. He's basically the damsel, reversing the gender norms. You know, it's like, okay, fine. You know, reverse gender norms in your own fucking story. Like, create something new to reverse gender norms, but you're dealing with something with established rules that you are breaking for your agenda. That's what woke means, by the way. You want to know what woke entertainment is when you break your established rules to insert your own personal messaging. And the same, you know what, we call it woke, but if the right did that as well, it would be the same damn thing.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. You know, woke, it's a difference between depicting a future with, you know, diversity, equality, you know, equity, and then lecturing about it and having to put someone else down besides, you know, that's the problem. You can have a wonderful story about a very capable woman, and you know, it's not woke if they develop her sufficiently where you believe that this is a genuine character, you're involved in her as a human being, and you're following her struggles. But if she then has to go ahead and make a point of insulting the males, particularly the white males, and doing little quips to put them in their place, well, that's woke, because there's an essential core of cynicism, nastiness, and hostility to wokeness that you don't find in things like The Expanse. You know, you don't have Naomi constantly putting down Holden on that show to make a point that she's good. No, they just show her as being good. They just show her as an interesting character, and they leave it to you to decide, well, who you like better. But she has never put down Holden. Ava Savarala has never put down a member of her cabinet for being a stupid, you know, white man or something, which is what lesser shows do.
Yep. And like, you know, these elements are in Lord of the Rings, by the way. It's not just all a bunch of fucking dudes doing shit. That's why a lot of these posers, fake geeks, just some guy did the best fucking takedown of that blog that came out a few months ago, and I do mention in my video, which is about Tolkien, black people exist. Yeah, he knows. He knew. He was making a Norse mythology, though, but he did build up a world where they can be there, and they're there. And he took her down so perfectly. But it proves, if you go through the blog, she basically says, I might have read the books or not. Oh, okay. So you're going to write a big old blog calling out a guy and you're not even going to read the books. By the way, what this usually is somebody who maybe read The Hobbit or was a fan before, and then they took a, I don't know, insert here studies course in college, and they came back and they realized everything's wrong because my professor told me that for 2 years. It's like, shut up. What a waste of money. And that's what's coming in and fucking up fandom. And it's the corporations, it's the corporatism that has done this. With all the fan blaming going around, fuck off. You're the one who introduced identity politics and politics to a level to where it became so divisive that it is fractured fans. Now we have fractured entertainment, right? And so you can't have your event television because you fractured everybody. You bought into this and bid into this intersectional critical race theory crap, which basically divides us all and brings back, I'm blanking on the word right now, but it brings back segregation. And we got segregated fans, and now we got other fans who want no part of this, because if they voice even the slightest criticism of, I saw this from a YouTuber that I follow, who's a lore YouTuber. And, if somebody's critical of Danny in A Song of Ice and Fire, that makes them sexist. No, it doesn't. It makes them a human being who's capable of critical thinking. And they might point out that she was a great character, but later on she becomes kind of a fucking dumbass and kind of a bad character. And it gets kind of boring. That's not sexist. That's just, this character sucks. I mean, shit, Game of Thrones, there's tons of plot armor on Daenerys. If you think about it, she has tons of plot armor, and so does Arya. But it's still believable in that world, what you were just talking about, that there's established rules aside from the aforementioned Dany and Arya plot armor, which I didn't really notice until my 10th reading of the book. That for everybody else, though, it's pretty established. And there's a lot of female characters, and it's their wits that get them through most of the time, right? And then it's very believable. You got what do you do in a land full of brutes that will drape you at the drop of a hat? Well, you use your wits, and your wits usually get pretty good because you're on your guard, and he actually puts that in there. So that's where it's believable, and that's where it works, and it works in a lot of stuff. This isn't about I need to have, and I know you don't mean this, fucking dudes and everything I see, and or white dudes. Not at all. Not at all. I would love to see them adapt some mythology from China, from India, anywhere. I'd watch it. It'd be cool as hell. Where is it? Well, Hollywood doesn't actually believe in any of the crap they say. And what they want to do is hitch a political wagon to something that's already successful, thinking they can actually get away with both. I mean, look at Kevin Feige. Look, what did he just say a couple days ago? We don't need popular characters from the comics to make our movie. Oh, man, this guy's been on a steady diet of his own farts.
He's huffing it. He's huffing it, man. He's like Dennis Hopper with his little mask on his belt and his little tank, and he puts it on. Now it's dark, and he's really believing that shit. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's people bring up Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, let me correct the narrative a little bit on Guardians of the Galaxy. No, it wasn't a popular group of characters, in the real world, right? In general fandom,
right?
But they re-released a comic in the mid-aughts that was very good. And, I would say moderately popular with comic book fans, which they based the entire fucking movie on, a thing called source material, right? And they borrowed all of that. James Gunn took all the fucking credit, by the way. It's like, bro, you just took from the comics what you're supposed to do, and you shepherded it into the film, and you did a good job doing it. And congrats to you. I fucking love Guardians of the Galaxy. But then he started getting away from that a little bit in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and look what happened. So yeah, you don't need popular characters, but you do need good source material, which these unpopular characters do not have. That's why they're unpopular characters.
Yes, and what Hollywood doesn't seem, it just got really hit me very clearly just a few minutes ago in a way that I would like to phrase right now. Hollywood should realize that they cannot have a mass successful movie or television show injecting wokeness into it. And the reason why is because it automatically alienates someone. You are dividing your audience when you go the woke route. You are injecting politics into your fucking franchise. And what happens is you're basically saying, hey, I want to go ahead and appeal to audiences that have basically been abraded spiritually by steel wool 24/7 on political issues, on the news, on elections. You know, everybody is rubbed raw with this fucking media steel wool. And what you're going to do is chime in with a side on that with this wokeness that is going to automatically get rid of half the audience right there. That's brilliant. And then you wonder why Hollywood is sinking, why nobody's watching the Oscars. It's because by definition, you are dividing your audience. You are absolutely pouring salt into the wounds that the mass media and politics have inflicted, and you will never again have a successful blockbuster so long as you go the woke route. Your only way to mass audience approval and profit is to cut that shit out, stop pouring salt on those wounds, and start just giving the audience good entertainment at a reasonable price without lectures, politics, or shaming. And as long as you don't do that, you're never going to have a blockbuster again, because things are way, way too politicized now. People are rubbed too goddamn raw with that steel wool. And how can you ever hope to draw in the mass united audience that made Star Wars such a massive hit years ago? You will never do it again if you don't get off of this fucking woke shit.
And I think they're starting to recognize that. There's little hints I'm seeing here and there, including Jennifer Salk bringing up, and I brought it up last week, bringing up that, we're getting the message that people want to party again. It's like, people have always wanted to party. That's all we ever wanted out of you. Do you think we actually want lessons out of you, Hollywood? Hollywood, we don't. We don't. We don't care what you think. We don't care what your demographic is. We don't care who you sleep with. We don't care where you put your junk. We don't care about any of it. We just want to be entertained. We'll deal with the other stuff throughout our own lives. We're not a bunch of simpletons. Actually, Hollywood, collectively, you are the simpleton.
Yeah.
Not the fans, not the audience.
They can't seem to walk and chew gum at the same time. They can't just tell a damn story without trying to inject some point of view over it. You know, like there's the core story, and then they're drowning it in this like treacly woke shit where you can't even get the flavor of the actual narrative beneath anymore. It's just completely obscured. People can no longer see your damn movie through all the wokeness. That's how politicized it's got. And if Hollywood doesn't want to go absolutely irrelevant and become bankrupt on top of being culturally out of touch, they need to go ahead and stop this assault on the fucking customers. You need to go ahead and get back to the roots of entertainment, of showbiz, which is entertainment, escapism, fun. You can go ahead and have it be a very intelligent escapism. You know, you can have something like Inception, for example. It doesn't mean it has to be brain dead popcorn shit, but it does need to have less divisive elements in it. Stop it. Stop the stunt casting and all the grandstanding and all the virtue signaling. If you can't just entertain us, then fucking get out of the business and go into, imports and exports of cotton and textiles and shit. Because you're not making it in show business anymore if you're alienating half your audience. It's just not going to happen.
No. And God, we've been saying this since The Last Jedi came out. It's a divided audience is like the last thing you want. Right. And guess what? You keep dividing it. Each movie, you kept dividing it and making less and less money. And you can sit there and go, well, it made $1 billion. Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Who gives a shit about $1 billion anymore? It doesn't mean squat. If it's such a big hit, $1 billion, how come they drug their damn feet making a sequel?
And the sequel is not even called Captain Marvel anymore. It's called The Marvels.
No, because we knew it was all a big freaking lie. And what they did was lied to their customers over and over again, saying this is popular and this is a big hit. They know the truth. They know that they were losing money over and over again. If they didn't, why did they cancel all their Star Wars stories? Why did they fucking, put the brakes on everything and got saved at the last minute by The Mandalorian, which they promptly fucked up. The truth is with the fandom. All right. And despite, there is, God, long gone are the days where we used to squabble over plot elements and things that, like characters we liked more and blah, blah, blah. It's like now it's just you introduce the politics. It's on the political lines and the people saying, hey, I don't want politics. Well, that's white supremacy and Nazi to say you don't want politics. And no, God, I was watching an old documentary on Tolkien that I used some of the audio for my video, and one guy who didn't make my video, but they asked a guy, they found a guy who didn't like Tolkien, and what he said was, what they won't say today out loud. And they asked this guy, I don't know what his political persuasion was, but it sounded very communist. And he said, no, escapism is bad. We need people always talking about the suffering of the working man and the blah, blah, blah. And that's what he said. He said, escapism is bad. We always need people being conscious of the suffering of others. And until not a single person is suffering, not anybody should be comfortable. And It's like, well, what? And like, we're not talking about ignoring it forever, but he said any escapism is bad. Like it's all bad. So, for those of you out there rooting for that, the term giant red flag. I never really thought about where that term came from, but there's a giant red flag out there, and there's a couple of them actually that Hollywood is catering to right now. Again, which is antithetical to everything they're doing. Absolutely. It's corporatism, but it was a product of capitalism, and and comfort and disposable income and happy fucking people going, damn, I've got enough few extra bucks to spend my hard-earned money on some entertainment so I can get a laugh or whatever, or get scared and all of a sudden that turned into, we are here to teach you all little people lessons. Because I can memorize a few lines and wear a really expensive dress. I'm smarter and better than you.
Yeah, they're so fucking smart. Let me tell you something. The great problem with these people is that the audience is hypersensitized now to all of these issues that they have been ramming down our throats, and we've been regurgitating over the past 3 years or so, to the point where now people reflexively react at the hint of these topics because they've sensitized us to it, and it immediately is a turnoff. It immediately detracts from the audience and torpedoes your movie. And as far as these idiots saying any escapism is bad, because we've got to hammer home the suffering of minorities and so on and so forth. What about the suffering of the viewers? See, what you're forgetting is that a lot of us need escapism just to find the will to go on, for God's sakes, to find the will to get off of our asses and get in the car and go spend money maybe we don't have at a movie theater to feel a little bit better about our fucking lives. And when you say escapism is bad, well, then what you're doing is taking away the motivation of the audience to go to your stinking movie because they're too depressed. We need inspiration in our lives. We need escapism. We need fun. We need joy. We need inspiration. We need to be led and to higher ideals through example, not through lectures, but the examples of people like Captain Kirk and Superman and Batman, the Doctor. You know, we need that. If we don't have that, you're basically crushing the human spirit, and you don't get any profits because everybody's too depressed to go out to the damn movie theater. It's that simple.
Yeah. And now nobody wants to go. You know,
No.
They're spitting like, oh, these are doing really well, fairly well, but they need billion-dollar movies.
Well, they ain't getting them,
folks, and they ain't
getting them. No, I don't know if there will ever be a damn billion-dollar movie again, Gary. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but something's going to have to change. It's going to have to be something brilliant. It cannot be divisive in any way, because if you wanted to get to a billion, you've got to appeal to a bunch of people. And now the public's getting onto you more and more and more. You know, I saw my dad today, and you know, he doesn't follow all this shit. I mean, he doesn't even know I do this. So he was just like, I was just visiting him, and he looked at me and he said, "Son, how come everybody on TV is gay now and in commercials and stuff? And what's going on?" And I just had to laugh. The public is noticing the wokeness now. There's no more undercover wokeness, and they're starting to roll their eyes just like we do. We were the early adopters. We were the canaries in the coal mine. We have seen this coming forever. So when somebody who's a normie like Dad is says something, it just gives me a little warm feeling inside. Like, yep, well, we tried to tell the world, and it's out there now. And if Dad is even starting to notice it, I think the world at large is, and people are not going to sit for this lecturing shit. And if you want to have a $1 billion movie, you better take all of that shit out of it, and it better be damn good to boot.
Yep. And they have no ideas. I mean, the fact that they're making an Indiana Jones movie with an 80-year-old fucking lead, and they're making a Picard show with an 80-year-old lead. You ain't got any new heroes. Oh, you do, and you don't want to portray them in their prime. You know, Henry Cavill, by all accounts, should be the biggest star in the world, the most sought after. He will bring more women to a theater than you can have 10 intersectional feminist lesbian dramas, and they wouldn't account for the first hour of money that would be made by just women from a Henry Cavill just movie taking his shirt off for fucking 5 minutes. You know, that's what sells Hollywood. Hollywood is a simpleton. They're dumb. They're just incredibly dumb. And because they've been taken over by corporations, and I've always said that Amazon is going to rule Hollywood, and it's happening now. They are now the biggest streaming service. Quietly, they are the biggest streaming service. Bet you didn't know that, but they are. And I didn't know that until yesterday when I looked it up. They have 200,000 subscribers to Amazon Prime Video, going up pretty quick. And the Amazon is like, it doesn't get more corporation than Amazon. Amazon is the corporation. And they're going to be running everything now. So like these things are so astronomical. That's why, you know, like when we hear like, go make your own stuff, it's like, okay, dude, you know, I'm not making like, it's great that you're making a comic book. Comic books can be made. That's something that anybody can do if you're talented enough and you have the, you know, well, it takes a lot of dedication, a ton of dedication and hard work, but we can't, like, I can't go out and make a TV show. You can't just swing a TV show that's going to be competitive and watchable to a mass audience. You could make something for a niche audience. That would be possible. But, you want to go out and make a web series, you're getting a crew of people, minimum 10, 15 people that you got to get to work together for long periods of time. And then most of you will do your day job and do all this stuff. You can't just do that. We got to, hopefully we'll have some very rich people on our side someday that can help fund some of this stuff. But until that happens, we have to either, speak our mind about this stuff or watch it die. And if it dies, that's not good for culture. If it gets completely taken over like it is right now with woke culture, that's not good for culture or our country, because it eventually, you can't run away forever. You can't stick your head in the sand forever, because it'll eventually get to you one way or another. And it's starting to do that right now because a lot of us didn't notice it. And they're very organized and we were not. Because we were the ones making everything go, and the people who weren't had time to plan.
Well, that's kind of annoying.
It is annoying. It is annoying. So now we're behind.
Yeah.
And we're going to win because they will, because we have things they don't. Loyalty, honor, genuine love for this stuff. We can make mistakes, we can do stuff, and won't be completely vilified for it. Like Pedro right now is Pedro Pascal's getting canceled by the very people who were supporting him when he called half America Nazis. And he didn't, support Gina Carano, and now they're coming. They always eat their own. So that's where we win, right? That's like, I'm not the first person to say that by any means, but that's why we have to stick with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, they really are. They're like nasty little piranhas. All these SJWs, and old Pablo Hidalgo is one of them. And, they're perfectly happy to swim around in their little hordes and, strip to the bone any large, magnificent animal that happens to wander into the stream, fall down to the job, say the wrong thing, whatever. But God forbid that one of these SJWs, like Pablo, should get a little scratch on them, because then all the other SJW piranhas will just descend on them and rip them apart. It's just a matter of time, because all those SJWs, oddly enough, you might doubt it, but the rumor is anyway that all the SJWs are still human, and humans make mistakes. Humans say things that can be misinterpreted. Humans, no matter how lofty their personal morality is, their views, how equitable their attitudes are towards race or sex or preference or any of those kinds of things, eventually everybody screws up. And these people are merciless, unforgiving, savage little jungle ants that you just cross the stream, just get out of step with them, and they will devour their own in a heartbeat. And I think it's fitting. I think it's just, I think I have anyone here in the chat gonna weep for Pablo Hidalgo when these savage SJW pieces of scum descend on him en masse, and millions of little ants are ripping the flesh from his bones? Anybody gonna cry? I don't think so. Are you gonna cry, Gary?
No.
Don't feel bad for Pablo after all the efforts to cancel other people from him.
I mean, it sucks that it's happening, but I don't have to. I'm not going to shed any tears for Pablo Hidalgo.
Live by the woke, die by the woke. That's how it goes.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword that, man, it's going to get you.
They will descend on you, man. They will turn on you in a heartbeat, because it's not at all about, fellowship. It's not about making humanity better. They're not doing it out of love. That's the thing. That's one of the reasons why we will win, is because to a man, to a man, if you are a geek, if you can converse with us and hang with us on things like Star Trek, Star Wars, Lord of the fucking Rings, She-Ra, He-Man, Doctor Who, if you can stand toe to toe with us, that means that you've got a lifetime of love for these properties, because you loved it enough to be obsessed about it. You loved it enough to watch it over and over and over and over again, internalize it, remember the trivia, remember the serial number of the Constitution, the Constellation, the Intrepid on Star Trek. If you have that level of commitment, that means you are acting from a place of love. And that's something that these SJWs are not doing. They have no love of the people that they are allegedly defending. They really don't. If they did, they would be supporting in droves shows like The Expanse, shows like The Orville, that basically depict the kind of future that they allegedly want, but they don't actually give a damn about making the world a better place. They don't actually care about the social justice that they espouse. They only want to virtue signal in an empty way, a shallow way, to make themselves look better and feel better. And they don't give a damn about the actual results of their actions, which are, oddly enough, ushering in a new dark age of segregationism, bigotry, and all the negative things that they purport to be fighting. They are actually exacerbating with their nastiness, their stupidity, their attacks. It's just so antithetical to the cause that, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King marched for years ago. Put his blood on the line, put his freedom on the line. What are they people putting on the line? Nothing. They're just fucking flapping their mouths and tweeting from their couch.
And that's how they think they're heroes, by the way.
Yeah.
I am they think they're actually at war. I've gone to war. I spent 30 minutes on Twitter. I changed my avatar like twice, and I used like 5 hashtags. I have PTSD from my war on Twitter.
Everybody's a Yahtzee. Everybody. It's just terrible. I have to go out there. I feel like I'm fighting World War II all by myself on my couch in my foot jammies. Yeah.
Yeah. In their onesies.
Yeah. That's pretty much what they think, man. They really do. They really do. And they get this smug little look on their face and hit a dopamine when their stupid little nasty tweet gets liked. And these people are sad, man. Sad. It's just awful, dude. Lord of the Rings, I have very, very little hope for. What should we sentence Lord of the Rings to?
On Prime,
you can pass it.
Lord of the Rings on Prime. So I sentence you to the void with Melkor or Morgoth, whatever you want to call him. The endless void.
That would be better. Then it would be out of our viewing range, because I don't think cable reaches all the way from the void. So it would be out of our misery. It's better for you. It's better for me. It's better for them.
Yeah.
I have no hope for this thing. I'm really dreading seeing it. I guess, it's just going to be bad, Gary. I have no hope for it.
No, I'd love nothing more than have a good fucking show to review. That'd be just fantastic. It would be, that is what I want every week. And I don't know if it's going to happen. It's going to be something original that's away from all this shit, that's somebody trying to actually make a good story. And I think that's what breaks this. It's going to have, and the problem is though, like The Witcher, I would say The Witcher is, it's as far as the books are concerned and what I know from the video game, that's a story placed right between Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got more magic, more monsters for sure. Sex. That's 70s fantasy. That's fucking, a little more of a Conan element to it,
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing that I think would be insanely popular right now. And you are seeing, Henry Cavill's fucking Highlander now, and they are making a Conan series, and they're doing a lot more fantasy stuff. And I think if they don't wokeify the shit out of it, it could be the next popular thing, because now they're capable of making it look pretty good these days.
Mhm.
But they have to have the willingness, you know. So if we have something successful, even if it's semi successful, like The Witcher, the Henry Cavill stuff is great, and I like some of the Yennefer stuff, and then there's some woke garbage in there. So I would say it's like 70% a good show that I could watch, and just have to kind of cringe through a couple scenes. But then season 2 is going to happen, right? So it all goes to their head. They're like, oh, we're the popular ones now and not the source material. So we're going to put some more Mar messaging. And then they continually do that. Like Westworld season 1 was fucking great.
Mhm.
It was fucking great. And that is the weirdest thing, to have a show have such a spectacular season 1. I mean, Heroes to a certain extent, but Heroes is no Westworld, right? And it was so obviously derailed by politics, by social politics, personal politics, whatever you want to call it. That's where that barrier was, that whatever 2015 to now, every show that was made before that fell victim to it, every single fucking one. And it's because Hollywood bought into a lot of shit, and because they're a simpleton, they were passed some paper and they read it and they said, if they don't adhere to everything on this paper, you're a racist. And they're dumb enough to believe it. So, I mean, there's a lot of dumb people with a lot of money in Hollywood. They're very smart when it comes to Hollywood, but again, the further you get up the chain, the less you understand the fandom.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, as somebody who has now played almost all of The Witcher and the support stuff on Witcher 3, I can tell you they could have just shot the damn game and it would have been a great TV show. I mean, if you haven't played it yet, it's addictive as hell. And it is some of the best, I think the best story I've ever seen in an actual game. You never lose track of what's going on, and it's just so well done, so riveting. Yeah, Hollywood could learn a lot from The Witcher 3, but no, they're going to go their own way. They're going to corrupt the original and inject a lot of shit into it. I mean, Henry Cavill pretty much made us give up hope 6 months ago or 8 months ago when he issued that warning that, well, it's going to be an ensemble show, and
I'm a piece of the puzzle, although the show's called The fucking Witcher. But
yes, yeah, it's such a damn shame. But Westworld was great. Season 1 was great.
I fucking loved it, man.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a season 2 or 3. That's all it does.
No, it just gets worse.
Yeah,
season 2 was absolutely horrific.
God. It's like
poor old Teddy had to commit suicide just to get off the show.
Yeah. Well, Teddy was the conduit for the audience. So
yeah. Yes, he was the token white male that just had to die, and the rest of them were either buffoons or evil. That was the only option. The only option for white males. He had to go because they couldn't make him a buffoon and they couldn't make him super powerful. So he was just a decent white male, and God knows we can't have that. So he had to go. Shall we read some super chats before we move on?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Michael Maloney with a $5 super chat. Thanks, Mike. Says Bad Batch. Opinion? Bad Batch is pretty good. Now, I've got a bit of a problem with Bad Batch, Gary. Doggone it. I watched I think the fourth one, and oh my God. You know how you talked about, like, you don't want to watch a show where the girl kid is the answer to everything. Well, so basically Omega is Baby Yoda, as I said, but it even got worse this week in that, guess what? A bounty hunter tracked down the Bad Batch, and who did the bounty hunter want? The kid. Oh, Omega. Yeah. Look, there's a lot to like about the Bad Batch. I like the characters. I like the writing for the most part. I like the setting. I like the tone. But this structural similarity between Baby Yoda, Grogu, and Omega, I have to think that this is something that was mandated by higher ups at Disney. I mean, I just can't believe that Dave Filoni does a good job, and he's done some good shows in the past, and I just got to think that the word is coming from on high somewhere that we need a kid in there to appeal to the kids, and it's just killing the show. I mean, you just can't have this same trip again and expect it to work. I have nothing against Omega. She's a perfectly fine character, nice character. I like her, but this trope of having bounty hunters now after her because I guess there's something special about her. I guess there's some kind of answer to everything that she's got. I don't know, but this thing is tired. We need to get rid of that shit and just let the boys be boys and shoot their guns and have adventures, for God's sakes. We've got 2 hard-bitten shows about mercenaries and bounty hunters and men-at-arms, and they're all fucking kid-centric. It's like the Mandalorian, his heart was softened by Grogu's charm, and that was fine. It worked once, and now all of these guys. You know what a big development on this 4th episode was giving Omega her own room on the ship. They cleared a and it's like, fine, but this softening of hard characters with kids is becoming a cliche, and I'm hoping. Listen, I like the Bad Batch. I hope it gets better, but this trope is very troubling at this point because it's just so brazenly transparent, and I hope they'll get off it. I hope they'll change course, because this thing, we don't need Grogu too.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you. I mean, I'm going to keep watching it, but that's my only, genuinely, I mean, that's my only criticism of the show thus far. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty damn good show. Anyway, there's my answer, Michael Maloney. Corayon Witch in Residence with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Corayon. Says, ding dong, the KK is gone. The question is, who's next? Well, we don't know for sure that she's gone, although I've got some new stuff on that. I meant to have it out today. I just ran out of time. But if the question is who's next, I don't know. I'm getting a feeling old Pablo maybe is destined for the exit door. I don't know who else. Maybe the whole Lucasfilm story group. That would be nice. God knows they haven't contributed a damn thing of worth to Star Wars. I mean, I think that they came up with this whole High Republic shit, which is just a joke at this point. I mean, nobody I know of is reading this stuff. Nobody cares about it. I think it's already in bargain bins. Jesus Christ. I don't know.
Yeah. If Pablo Hidalgo's still there, I mean, what's it matter? Like I think he could be worse. I think he could actually be worse.
Yeah. He's I think he's not long for this world, personally, but we'll see. Knock wood. I hope he isn't. Nikki D with a $10 super chat and a $5 super chat. Thank you, Nikki D. Says, I believe Black Widow will do well in its box office run, despite my apathy for the film and most upcoming MCU projects. But what if it bombs? And then also in this $10 super chat says, there's a rumor that Thor will surrender his first name to Jane Foster in his upcoming movie, making her the new official Thor in the MCU. How do you predict audiences will react?
Well. Not well. But Marvel thinks they can do no wrong right now. And, based on you can't argue with it. And we have no idea how well Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision really did. But I can tell you, it's been a while since a Marvel project came and went, and then people just kind of stopped talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of it's gone. Maybe like Wasp and Ant-Man, was the last movie that like people saw it, went, talked about the end more than anything. yeah, you don't have this big lead up now, and you just got a bunch of placeholders. And when Black Widow comes out, yeah, I think just based on the brand strength, I think it's going to have probably a pretty massive weekend for pandemic numbers. But then it'll drop off because I think it's just going to be kind of dull, you know. And Marvel's afraid to do anything, and we're gonna, back to Lord of the Rings real quick. The one thing that's definitive in Lord of the Rings that Hollywood, I mean, Lord of the Rings is everything Hollywood hates. It's absolutely everything Hollywood hates. So it's got definitive good and evil, right?
Yeah.
So there are some guys who are on the side of good doing evil things, but they're still evil. Like they're egotistical. I mean, we saw that in Lord of the Rings too, the film with Denethor. It's like there's a lot of that, right? But it's still got evil. It's got Sauron. It's got the servant of Melkor, who is essentially the devil. So Sauron's the son of Satan, or Satan's familiar, right? And who becomes basically Satan himself. Pure evil. Started out good, not so good anymore. Melkor kind of did too. So they all started out good. Technically, but there's shit. If they're in Middle Earth, prior to the fall of Numenor, that's when Middle Earth was flat. So there's that too. Before they separate basically heaven from earth, because you can still access heaven technically, where the Valar are, right? And you could sail there, right? But you're forbidden to sail there by the Valar, and that's part of what creates the resentment. Because well, I don't want to spoil everything, but I mean, it's been out there for decades and everything. The Numenorians live long lives. They're very prosperous, but they're very envious of the Valar and the elves and their immortality. So that's what leads to a split on the island over a period of 1,000 years or so, a couple thousand. Yeah. The second age is thousands of years long, so I don't know how they're going to deal with that. But I digress. It is good and evil, and Hollywood can't do that. So the MCU can't do straight up evil villains. All the villains have to be understood, and that's fine once in a while. But you know what? In comic books, there's Mephisto. He's evil. Dormammu, evil. Then there's the Magneto and the Doctor Doom.
Right.
But they're still bad. And we can't have that anymore. So we have misunderstood heroes fighting misunderstood villains, and usually the evil is just the white male. So I guess there's that defined evil in the MCU.
Come on, people, now smile on your brother. All the heroes and villains get together. Try to love one another right now. It's just such a kumbaya thing. We can't even have orcs be evil anymore in D&D because racism or something. God knows. Orc lives matter. I don't know. Nikki D is asking also. I believe Black Widow will do well in its box office run. I don't. I mean, I don't know what it'll do. I'm not interested in it. Certainly not going to go to the theater to see it. And then asking, what if it bombs? I hope it does. I hope the MCU gets off to a shitty start, and they realize that they're making a huge mistake and reverse course and maybe give us some real superheroes again. I'm not optimistic about this at all, Nikki D. Thank you for those super chats. Beth Arstead, thank you for the Rose super sticker. It is very appreciated, dear. Kelvington with a $10 super chat. Hail to the Kelvington, says this is the best way to end a weekend. Hail Doomcock and Gary. Hail Kelvington. We're delighted to have you every Sunday. Norman Walls with a $6.99 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Norman. Says, really like what you do, my lord. Do you think Harvey has anything to do with the recent alien activity? Have to go, but hope to tune in later tonight.
I have nothing to do with alien spaceships zipping around aircraft carriers. If I did, your universe would already be destroyed. It's ipso facto, you know? It's just, I had nothing to do with it, but I am spooked by the aliens. I don't know what they are, but they certainly are out there.
Yeah, they certainly are, Gary. We've got a lot of alien activity or UFOs or whatever the hell it is out there. Definitely disclosure is happening.
I was at the gym, and the gym has all the fucking piece of crap mainstream media. I guess you guys can tell I don't like it. So, and they have the MSNBC BS fucking bullshit TV, and then they have the Fox News bullshit TV. It's all bullshit, by the way. I don't like any of it. And they both TVs had UFO things on at the same time. I was like,
wow. Wow. Boy, you see? This is just like in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 74 Kaufman remake, where all through the movie, at the early part of the movie, before we've really had anything happen, you have like screams in the background of the city, and you hear cop sirens going off in the far distance, and the main characters are oblivious. You know, it's just like that. Like this stuff is happening all around us. And it's been in the background, but we're moving into the second act now of this little UFO disclosure thing, and it's just getting more and more pervasive. They're saying it more, Gary. And what is behind it? I think they just can't hide it anymore.
They can't. It's supposed to be leading up to something in June, but Richard Dolan was talking about it. I highly recommend if you're into the or if you're just getting into the UFO thing, ufology. One of the most credible people out there is Richard Dolan. Always been Richard Dolan. He's just a very likable guy, and he comes at things very matter-of-factly, and he doesn't try to sensationalize stuff, and he calls out bullshit when it's bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. And he said that there's supposed to be some big thing going on in June. I think they're making a presentation to senators or Congress, not sure, but he said not to get our hopes up too much about this. He said it just feels like it's being built up a little bit too much. He said focus more on like what's been coming out, what's been going through the media, and then really think about the question. And we brought this up on multiple exozones because we've been covering this on the exozone for a while now. That what's really going on? Like this is what they're telling us. So there's what they're telling us, and then there's what's really going on. And I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question, but I do. Based on what I have heard from very credible witnesses, I do not think we are capable of making this technology.
No, definitely not, Gary. I mean, all these people that are like, I just saw the comment in the chat here about how it's not UFOs, it's USAF. And respectfully, I do not believe that at all. Look, these sightings happened in
2004.
Yeah.
2004. So we just got a radar that was capable. So our technology is getting better, so we're able to see these things more. But they have been around for a long, long time. This isn't something that just popped up 3 years ago.
No. But if any country had this technology in 2004, by now they would have taken over the world. And that is not an exaggeration. That is not hyperbole. If any country had this technology in 2004 or even 2015, for fuck's sake, they would be taking over the world. It would be done by now. If you've got a power that can like material zip right over any city, elude any radar, any interceptor, leave any kind of payload it wants to, it would just take a few little bombs, little bomberoos to basically make the world kneel down and capitulate to these craft. So the fact that hasn't happened means that it is not any country, because that country would rule the world. Do you agree or disagree?
I completely agree with that. Came out in 2004, and it can go from the surface of the ocean to space in under a second without a sonic boom. If we had it, we'd use it because we'd be out there in space mining minerals.
Oh yeah,
it would be easy. It would be absolutely easy. We wouldn't need Falcon rockets or any of this shit.
no.
Yes, there is technology we don't know about that's about 20. The military is about 20 years ahead of us as far as the super secret part of it, right? The part we don't know about. They are testing things that are 20 years ahead because they need to test them and make sure they work and don't blow up half the United States because they're using some kind of weird energy or something like that. That's why they test them. But this technology is bonkers, folks. It's absolutely beyond. It's not 1,000 years ahead. Lou Elizondo was on 60 Minutes. He was on New York Post. I watched like 9 interviews with him, so I can't remember which one it was. But he said it's about 100 to 200 years ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would agree with that. I mean, maybe even longer. But I mean that's just so fantastic that Now somebody else was saying in the chat, well, it's holograms. It's this Project Bluebeam thing. It's all holograms and illusion. And it's like, well, but that shit's being locked on as solid objects. I mean, it's showing up on our advanced radar systems, and I don't think a hologram would.
If it's Project Bluebeam, then these are like, we're presenting you this stuff, and like I'll tell you what I think it is, and I don't honestly, I don't know. It could be interdimensional. It could be aliens who have been here the whole time, living in our oceans that we have largely not mapped. It could be us from the future. I don't know. It's not us from now. But if it's China, if it's Russia, then we should be fucking very worried right now.
Very.
And if it's Project Bluebeam, we should be very fucking worried right now. Like, we shouldn't be even talking about the COOF or anything, Israel, anything. This should be our number one concern right now.
I agree. Well said. Well, we had a little impromptu exozone, folks, and we will certainly have another exozone pretty soon. We got to coordinate it, but next time it's going to be on Gary's channel. We're gonna cut loose and have some fun. Leech ICM. Speaking of UFOs, it's Marvin the Martian is Leech ICM's avatar here with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Leech. Says, I have my party hat on, ready to count down to press the button and restart the universe. That's if Harvey will get his butt off the couch, the bum.
Hey, don't blame me, man. I can't push my own button. Only you can stop the existence of the universe. Push the button. I'll fix all your problems. Yeah, it's just that easy.
It really is. It's that easy. Thank you, Leech ICM. Keep that party hat on. The way things are going with pop culture, I may have to push the damn button. I'm just saying. Planet Tobor TV with a $5 super chat. Hello, Planet Tobor TV. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. He says, happy mega belated birthday. Thank you, Planet Tobor TV. Appreciate you being here. Good to see you again, my friend. Eric Winberg with a $5 super chat. Thanks, Eric. Says Overlord DVD and Nerdrotic. Hail and happy Sunday. Hail to you, Eric, and thank you, sir. It is a happy Sunday. It's a happier Sunday than it has been. I've had a kind of a interesting day. Not as bad as tomorrow's going to be, though. Roger H with a thumbs up super sticker. Thank you, Roger. Davey Coyle with a £2 super chat. Thank you, Davey. Says they're going to try to Game of Thrones, The Lord of the Rings. It looks like it. That's embarrassing, but I think that is in fact the case.
It's really interesting that this has popped up again. But yeah, like last week we got the article of Jennifer Salk saying it needs to appeal to a large global audience, which it already does. So I don't know why she had to say that. That's why. The reaction to that was the most interesting thing. Like, you would think that's a pretty tame statement. It's like, yeah, you spend a lot of money. I understand that. I really do. But the reaction was, oh, fuck. And it's because Hollywood has set up so many red flags. Again, you can, choose which image you want to put on that red flag. It's usually like yellow. But they put up so many red flags that was the most interesting part is they're signaling to us what this is. And then I went in and looked, and there's not much information about this, folks. There's rumors that, Thranduil will be in it, and there's rumors of possible halflings, which would, I guess technically there are some forebears to hobbits in the late Second Age, but they want them in there, and they're going to be able to a little play it fast and loose with timelines, which, but it's more of a, what are they going to do with the story structure? Right. That's what my concern is, like intersectional critical race theory, Lord of the Rings. I almost said Game of Thrones. And so I went and looked. There's no set photos. There's fucking nothing. There's zero. And they're well into production. I did find one, they hired a female director. And one of the things they wanted to point out, which was great about this female director, was that she was a woman.
Well, that's all we needed to know.
Huh.
Well, shit, I feel better already, don't you?
I do.
Oh, sure. What a crock of shit. Wow. That is sad. Shark Dentures with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Shark Dentures. Says Game of Thrones is a knockoff of Lord of the Rings. They are trying to turn Lord of the Rings into a knockoff of Game of Thrones. What idiots. Yes, sir, Shark Dentures. That is a excellent point. You made the point, Gary, before that George R.R. Martin was viewing a Song of Ice and Fire as the antithesis to the Lord of the Rings. And I think maybe that's why he hasn't finished the series. It's because the Lord of the Rings finished. So to be antithetical to the Lord of the Rings, you don't want to finish, right? Right, George?
That would be it. That's exactly it. See, one can exist without the other, and the other can't exist without the main one. So Lord of the Rings it invented a lot of this shit. There was, Robert E. Howard before that, but it set the pace. It set the tone for a lot of modern fantasy. Game of Thrones is because of it. It's a derivative of it. It can't exist without Lord of the Rings. And that channel Epic Rap Battles. I'm sure you guys have all seen the Epic Rap.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love the J.R.R. Tolkien, George R.R. Martin one. I watch it every once in a while because it's so spot on.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's very funny. It cracked me up. Shark Bites Art with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Shark Bites Art. Says, just Sharky, please. What do you think about the possibility of Henry Cavill as the Highlander, and should they reboot it? In general, I don't like reboots. I do like Henry Cavill. I guess I'm really kind of neutral on it at this point. Gary, do you have an opinion on Henry Cavill as Highlander, and should they reboot it?
I feel the same way. I like Henry Cavill. I'll probably watch it. But it can never equal the magic of the first one. And part of that magic was Queen. There's no more Queen. If you look at that movie as objectively as possible, and it's like one of my all-time favorite movies, folks. But it has the worst swordplay of any fantasy movie ever. It's terrible. It's utterly terrible. But it's got such great acting and fucking the dialogue, and it's a well-directed movie aside from the swordplay. And then that Queen soundtrack makes it just badass. And it's one of those movies where I remember seeing it, and it was just a mix of genres, and it was weird, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I mean, it's better to burn out than to fade away. I was saying that like, oh my God, that was like my saying when I was a kid,
Oh yeah. And of course you're forgetting Ramirez. He was the Spaniard from planet Scotland. It's
the Spanish Scottish guy
from the planet Zeist.
That's
from
right.
the planet Zeist, laddie. Did they bring in Zeist on the second movie or I don't recall any mention of that. I think it was in the second movie.
It's the second movie, which was arguably the worst sequel ever made.
It was pretty fucking awful.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the awful fight in the alley or whatever with the vulture men, obviously on wires, and he's chopping them down. And meanwhile, Lois Lane is spying on him, from the shadows. And, he takes them all out. And then Lois Lane, he spots Lois Lane. He walks up to Lois Lane and says, "My name is Connor McLeod. I was born 500 years ago on the planet Zeist, and I cannot die." And they kiss. And I was just, my mind was blown at that moment. I felt like Bowman at the end of 2001. I was just flying through a maze of incomprehensible lines because that line is so bad. What kind of person walks up to a woman and just says, "My name is Connor McLeod. I was born 500 years ago on the planet Zeist, and I cannot die," and they kiss?
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Oh my God.
Denver
Those were the days, man. Those were the days.
Give Me the Prize is such a freaking badass song. Love that song.
Oh,
Just
it
keep
is good
going,
stuff.
man. I play that one at the gym like all the time.
It's damn good stuff. But the second one was something else. Our dear friend Casey Asowski with a $10 super chat. Hail, Casey. How are you, brother? He says, "Hail, gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I've had a bad day. At times like these, nothing makes me happier than watching you guys make snowflakes melt. So please bring the heat. We always bring the heat on the Inquisition, don't we, Gary? We've got pinchers. We've got red hot coals. We're equipped for heat, are we not?
We are equipped.
We are damn
Got
equipped.
my scaphism ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Got my
It
beetle.
smells, but it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
It smells like it reeks to high heaven, but it's still, I tell you, it's worth it. Crazy Cat Guy with a Doom of Corn, Crazy Cat Guy with an ice cream cone. Thank you for the super stickers. Southeastern Kaiju with a happy face super sticker. Kit Kat with a wait for it super sticker. Thank you, Kit Kat. A couple of things for Gary here. Gary from Toddzilla with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Toddzilla. He says, "Gary is native of Las Vegas. I anxiously await your visit. Keep us posted."
Awesome.
Any updates on that?
Yeah, it's happening. It's once we booked the place, Melissa and X-Ray Girl were on it, and I don't know if Melissa probably got distracted, but yeah, it's absolutely happening. I am going to Vegas, going to hang out with you guys. Before the coup hit, I had a Vegas trip planned and multiple meetups planned, and it didn't happen. And I'm dying to meet you guys. Like, that's the best part about this job. My God, I went to New York Comic-Con. I think I spent an hour and a half in the Comic-Con, and I spent the rest of the time like meeting you guys in bars and just at fucking coffee shops and stuff and eating pizza. It was great.
Sweet.
Fantastic.
And Beth Arstead with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Beth. Says, "Gary, the setting of the Second Age is a mistake. If they wanted such themes, do you think the Children of Huron First Age would be a better setting?"
Yeah, but as far as the reason they took the Second Age is I think that was available and it was more doable. Does that sound right? Because you can still have Sauron. So you still have something recognizable from Lord of the Rings. You go to the First Age and you got Melkor and Morgoth and all that, but like the First Age, like it's lit by, that's the lamps. Like Middle Earth is lit by 2 trees, not a sun. So that's a little difficult to, imagine and put to screen, and it shouldn't be. It should never be. And that's the thing. I don't want to know Sauron. I don't want to know. The mystery of him makes him what he is. We know bits and we know about the Silmarillion, but again, that's still just a story, but we don't know how he talks, right? And so we have in our mind's eye our own version of Sauron, and it's different. Each one of us has, we've seen the art out there, but we have, and you know what? There's no definitive look after the fall of Numenor, right? He loses his ability to shapeshift and look beautiful, because he was a good looking guy, and that's why he was able to deceive so many people. But he was a horror afterwards. So his body was destroyed, and then it put itself back together but he could never form anything beautiful again. He was a horror. And you can just you have to leave it to your imagination to what that is, and that's why he's such a great villain. Crap, you don't even see him in Lord of the Rings.
Right. I mean, it would be a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I could just see it. Like the Lord of the Rings TV show opens with, Sauron, getting out of bed, handsome looking guy. He's kind of hears some shouting on the lawn, and he stands up and stretches and says, "Son of a bitch," and kind of shuffles over in his robe to the window. He looks down, he sees a bunch of hobbits frolicking on his lawn. He says, "Fucking hobbits. God damn it." He's kind of scratching under his arm, and we just don't want to know how Sauron became Sauron.
Yeah.
We don't want that mystery gone in the same way that Anakin got, Vader's mystery stripped away, that he was just a whiny ass, creepy stalker that doesn't like sand,
I know the prequel fans are going to argue, but that's just, I know George, I always wanted to tell the story, but Vader was better off being a big mystery till the end, to me.
I agree.
Now, I think the guy, I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who played Benjen Stark, I think he's playing Sauron. I could be wrong. I'm just suspecting that he kind of looks like he could pull it off. If it can be
good,
again, I hope this is fucking great. I hope I'm dead wrong about all of this stuff, and I would be happy. I'll be the first to go, I was wrong. This is fucking awesome. That's what I want.
We all hope that. We all hope that. Yeah.
And for any person who thinks it would be beneficial for my channel if it sucks, no, it would be beneficial for my channel if it was good.
It would be beneficial for our souls and our sanity if we had a good show to watch. That's all we want. Now, Mr. Fish RSVP with a $10 Australian super chat poses the troubling question: what if Sauron is a female?
They can't do that. If they could do that, they would. I fully. Better question is, are they going to get into the Valar or the one god, Iluvatar? And are they going to give him the voice of a woman? Now he is referred to as he and him. Those are his pronouns, in the book.
Yeah.
But can they play with that? Because any chance they get, they will play with that. And that's where, that's the question I ask in my video is how do you make this now? How do you make a story by a devout Catholic that has Christian? The Silmarillion has a lot of biblical, it's got all kinds of mythology in it too, but there's biblical mythology in it too. Now, depending on what you guys believe out there, and not disrespecting anybody, but it's got a lot of biblical stuff in it. Like Numenor it's Atlantis, but there's also Noah's flood, and there's also I guess would be considered a rapture a little bit, and there's one God.
Mm-hmm.
There's one God, and it's about turning your back on God. It's the Valar, but the Valar represent the one God. And Iluvatar has rules. Right, the Valar cannot, kill or fight men, and the Numenorians are powerful. They're not just like a normal man, because remember, they diminish over time. But the Numenorians are essentially like superhuman. That's the way I've always seen it. They live longer,
mm-hmm.
and they can fucking battle, and they fight Sauron, and all kinds of crazy shit. And Balrogs and stuff like that. So. And the orcs aren't they're badass too. I don't know how they're going to make something like that today.
We'll see. I doubt however they do it, it's going to suck in my opinion, but I hope we're surprised. I hope it turns out to be great, but I'm not holding my breath.
There's Peter Jackson was inexperienced and unproven when he took on Lord of the Rings, but you could argue that the stuff he did before that was low budget, but it was still good. You could still see that this guy has it, right?
Mhm.
And it was a different situation because they had everything riding on this movie. Like if this movie, if it didn't succeed, the company would have been bankrupt, right? So
Mhm.
everything was riding on this movie, on those trilogy. And that's why they filmed all three back to back, but they took a few huge risks because these were creative people. The whole motivation was, of course, to make money, but they really felt like they had this, like, this was like, God, this is a great all-time story. And we have a chance to adapt it and make something, fucking amazing. Right.
Mhm.
And they did. They pulled it off. It was lightning in the bottle. And I don't think, you have the template there. It's not like they didn't video every step of the way how they made this movie and what their mistakes were and how they went about fixing it. Like there's one behind the scenes where they went to go film, Golem. I think it's in the dead marshes or wherever, but they went to the lake and everything was frozen. So they brought out the fire department and they melted all the snow to shoot like a little scene because they had to do that. Now, Amazon would probably have a meeting and fucking committees and, they, would just CG it or something like that. And it would look like crap,
Mhm.
So that's the big difference here. You got movie magic being made by movie people. And now you have widgets being made by billionaires.
Yep, that's it. That's it. The difference between passion and commerce. And we've got to have the passion. We need that for our stories to succeed. If we don't have that, chances are it's dead on arrival, no matter what happens. We've got let's see, Solid Gamer 1998 with a $15 super chat. Thank you, Solid Gamer. Says, been smoking with dwarves. Love the Lord of the Rings. You smoking with dwarves, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Solid Gamer 1998. How are they? Are they doing well? Tell them to vape instead. It's probably a little healthier. My ex-wife with a $10 super chat. Hail to my ex-wife, says, if we don't get an exozone soon, I'm going to start operating under the assumption that the real Gary and Doomcock have been abducted and cloned to silence the truth. I can assure you that we have not been abducted and cloned. Or have we?
Well, we've most definitely been probed.
Uh-oh. Well, you have had periods of missing time, Gary, where you've vanished from live streams.
I have. And every time I come back, my ass really hurts.
I know. When you poop, though, does it echo? That's when you know you've been a multiple abductee.
Yes.
Mikey Gusler with a $10 super chat and a $20 super chat. Thank you, Mikey. Mikey says, watched Army of the Dead at midnight, and I would highly recommend it. Really. No woke propaganda, just fun zombie action with characters you root for. I give it an 8 out of 10. Don't listen to Angry Joe. He gave it a 4. Somebody else was in my chat recently, and they were saying that Army of the Dead sucked. Anyone in the chat, Gary? Any feedback from anybody on does Army of the Dead give the goods or no?
The feedback I heard was it's from okay to I haven't heard it's great. You're the first person, Mikey. I meant to watch it last night, but I worked instead. So once I'm done with my work, I'll watch it. I got to tell you up front, not a zombie fan.
Right.
Never been a big zombie fan. The only zombie movie I really enjoy is Return of the Living Dead from the 80s. I fucking love that movie.
That is a great
zombie movie. So
yeah, that's so much funny.
And I respect George Romero, and I thought Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead was pretty good, but I don't like, zombies are very one-dimensional to me. I just like, and I liked Walking Dead too. I thought that was like a pretty good take on it for a little while. But they're not my favorite thing. No, I'm more of a vampire werewolf,
sure,
classic monster kind of guy.
I can see that. I really love the original Night of the Living Dead, and Return of the Living Dead is a classic. But I think zombies, very easily are played out. I mean, they've been around too much. Girthy guitarist SD in the chat says Army of the Dead is total shit. Atomus says Army of the Dead sucked. Somebody else said, who listens to Angry Joe? I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Shaun of the Dead is the best zombie movie, says somebody else. And Are You Drunk Too says it sucked, bad dad trope. So, oh dear. Well, there you go. Then.
I heard Dave Bautista's like just not good as a lead.
I like the guy, but yeah, I'm not sure about him as a lead.
Drax.
And Mikey Gussler with a $20 super chat. Very generous of you, Mikey. Thank you again. So speaking of Angry Joe, he said the latest Army ad is genius because it needs to spread out to people rather than just Call of Duty bros. Also, he gave Captain Marvel, Men in Black International, and Aladdin 2019 a 7 out of 10. Well,
yeah, I just think there's people. I mean, Angry Joe. I mean, dude, he's got a ton of subs. I respect his work on his channel.
Oh, sure.
But that's the reason I haven't subscribed to him is I just, I don't need to agree with somebody all the time, but they have to have taste I respect. Like Doomcock has taste I respect. Mahler, Critical Drinker. If they tell me to take a look at something that I normally wouldn't, I would because they said so. Right.
Yeah.
These are guys like, they know what they're talking about, and I think they're real. I don't always agree with them on everything, but I would at least give it a shot and understand why they liked it because I think they're really good at what you guys are all really good at what you do. Joe, I think is a video game guy. I just think he's probably, I don't play video games and I don't know, but I think he's probably just a video game guy. And quite frankly, by what you're saying, video game storytelling is surpassing film storytelling now. I think we're at that point. Witcher 3, Resident Evil 8, people are loving it. God, people can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, I want to get that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that if anything's going to get me to play video games is going to be stories. If they're good stories, because that's where I go. I go where the good stories are. And if it's got to be me being a part of the story, then shit. I mean, I'm going to get killed a lot, but that's why I'm probably the only idiot who really liked the Telltale games. I did because like you didn't have to do very much. I love the Game of Thrones Telltale game and Wolf at the Door too, the Fables one. I thought that one was really good too.
Hey, I respect that. I'm more of a gamer, but I'm not like a great one. Like I want to do it on Twitch and get accolades or anything. But I must say I'm pretty damn good at Witcher. I'm pretty fucking dangerous in Witcher. I gotta say, I'm very proud of it. Ness8 with a very generous $50 super chat. Thank you, Ness8. That's very kind of you, sir. And he says, when they feel that they must include swearing and nudity, you know that they are not on par with J.R.R. Tolkien intellectually and just want to mimic Game of Thrones. Get woke, go broke.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pandering. It's easy. It's a crutch. I mean, God knows I love swearing and nudity, but not in Lord of the Rings. I mean, Jesus, not in Lord of the Rings. And I just feel saddened that they're laying this wonderful franchise so low. I just see it coming. I hope I'm wrong, but I am not. I'm not thrilled with the direction that I'm seeing. I'll just say that. Stephen Kraft with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Stephen. Says, Hail Gary and DC. Do you guys have any take on Amazon's Wheel of Time series? Supposedly, Amazon already ordered a second season. I don't know. I've never read the Wheel of Time series, so I really don't have anything to say about it, although I've heard people express worries that it was going to be woke. Have you ever read Wheel of Time?
No, I haven't. And I've heard people express that. And I did hear it got a second season, and I wouldn't put too much into that. When you I think like Lord of the Rings, I think it's committed to 5. It's like they're going to do 5 no matter what. They're doing 5 seasons. Like it's committed to 5 seasons. So I think when they're putting so much money into these things, like they have to put a commitment in, because even if a first season kind of flames out, it can, shit gets better. I mean, like honestly, how many first seasons of shows are spectacular? There's first seasons that are like good, like Buffy, X-Files. It's like, these aren't great, but damn, I like these characters. Star Trek: The Next Generation, although I think season 1 gets far more criticism than it deserves. And yeah, you got to give, television shows time to breathe. But that now, when you get a rare good first season, usually that show would build on it. Now we expect it to fail, right? Again, back to Witcher, I would expect an improvement. What you do is you look what the public wants, and you give them more of what they want while still being true to your story. Obviously, people were like Henry Cavill, but no, the showrunner's like, no, I want to get more of my messaging in now. I know you like Henry Cavill, and we'll still give you him about the same amount as last time.
Yeah. Not optimistic. On that
yeah,
regard.
getting 2 seasons is not that it's unusual now.
Yeah, 5 is ridiculous.
5 is ridiculous.
In
They didn't give
advance.
George Lucas 5 seasons. Remember, he wanted to do his Underworld show. He
Right.
had 5 seasons written by like Frank Darabont and Ronald D. Moore, and it's a who's who of television. It's
Mhm.
unbelievable, and nobody would commit to 5 seasons. So he shit canned it. Like, he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to go ahead and put a bunch of money into something that was going to get canceled in 2 seasons. But Amazon goes out and commits to 5 on Lord of the Rings.
At a greater expense, even, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely sure.
And I love Lord of the Rings, but like if George Lucas has Frank Darabont and Ronald D. Moore writing scripts, I'd take a shot at that. I'd take a flyer at it.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you would think that, I mean, Jesus, why doesn't Disney say, hey, we'll take those scripts up and make you a showrunner on it and let you go to town? I mean,
I don't know why Disney hasn't done that. I mean, they own it. Lucasfilm owns it. It's all
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
They did test shooting for it, and it looked cool. It did. I was like, huh. When I first heard about it, I'm like, I don't know. But like seeing it visualized, I was like, before Disney took over, I'd have definitely watched that for sure.
Another wasted opportunity, Disney. Are you listening out there? Please think about it. Tycho TMA1 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tycho. Says, hail Gary and Doomcock. It may not be a big franchise, only 4 books, but do you think the Space Odyssey series could become woke in the near future? I don't see how. What are they going to do? Make the monolith with tits? Or are they going to make, Helen 9000? Hello, Dave. How are you? Nah, I don't know. I don't think there's any way to really make 2001 Space Odyssey woke. I don't know. Gary, any opinion on that? I don't think there is.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. If somebody picks up and adapts it and, kind of reimagines the second one, I could see them, yes, absolutely making it woke.
It already was diverse and had equality in it. I mean, in the second one, I mean, wasn't Helen Mirren in that? Wasn't she like the head of the space station or something? I mean, it's already there. I just don't see any need to.
It's been a while. God, I read that book.
They're assholes. Yeah, I don't I saw the movie. I didn't watch the book.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book. Donald Gracie with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Donald. Says, oh, calamity, Lord Doomcock. Mego Mikey Spock figures on eBay. They say there's no devil, DC, but there is. Right out of hell. Saw it. Yeah. Mego Mikey Spock figures on eBay. Funny thing is, I saw some Mikey Spock figures over at Lowe's the other day. I was in the lumber section and there were some sawed off ends that I thought, shit, Mikey Spock action figure right there. We both have one though, don't we? We both have
We
Mikey
do.
Spock
Yeah, it's the
action
most
figures.
accurate action figure we both
Yes.
own.
Mikey Spock in action figure, as it turns out, which is perfectly fine with me. Jonathan with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jonathan. Says Lord of the Rings isn't a children's fantasy. Hobbit, Narnia, yes. Lord of the Rings with all the blood, slicing heads off, and horror type imagery. By the way, I liked the Hobbit trilogy. I did not like the Hobbit trilogy. Gary did. I just could not get into it. I did not like it. I wouldn't say that Lord of the Rings is a children's fantasy. I mean, but it does have an essential core of goodness and innocence. Sure, there's some violence and nasty monsters.
Yeah. I didn't mean it was for children.
No.
I said there was an overall innocence in it. That it's meaning it's devoid of nihilism and postmodernism.
Yeah. Which I think is a good thing. Very good thing. Mikey Gussler again with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Mikey. Mikey Gussler says, with a $10 super chat, The Guardian tweeted out Shrek at 20, and unfunny and overrated for blockbuster franchises. Universal Orlando Resort official account responded with hashtag fake news. Well, good. I don't think tearing down Shrek at 20 is an unfunny and overrated blockbuster. A lot of people love Shrek, and if you're attacking it, you're just an asshole. I mean, come on. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Shrek, everybody loves Shrek. I mean, I don't think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's fun.
Oh my God, my kid adored it. So my oldest.
Yeah. That's crazy. Hashtag, oh, well, good on Universal Orlando Resort for officially responding with hashtag fake news. I think it's pretty good. Maybe there's a little hope for the mainstream media after all, huh? Kit Kat, thank you for the forest super sticker. I love the trees. Makes me feel all woodsy and like I'm looking around for ET and some Reese's Pieces. Brian Anderson with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Brian says, hey, Harvey. Want to let you know the Harvey cult is going smoothly as planned, but we wanted to know if Taco Tuesday is still on the table.
Taco Tuesday is indeed a viable option, and if the button is pushed, I will absolutely attend, and I will pay for all the tacos personally.
Well, there you go. An offer of Taco Tuesday from Harvey to anybody who wants to push the button on Tuesday. Of course, that means on Wednesday, everything will be canceled. So Taco Tuesday, no more Wednesday. That should be the hashtag.
You're a spoil sport.
I know. I am. Thank you, Brian. Infinity City Productions with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Infinite One. Says, Hail Inquisitors. DC, did you get to look at Mars Base 1 trailer at ICP channel? We need to switch from Hollywood to indie creators like ICP. I have not had a chance yet. I'm so sorry, Infinity City Productions, but I absolutely will take a look at it. Did you email me like I asked at dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com? That's the best way to get me to take a look at it. When I've got the time and the link right there, I will take a look at it and I will send you a message letting you know what I think. Thank you, Infinity City Productions. Kit Kat with a 10-pound super chat. Thank you, Kit Kat. Says Hollywood is alienating a huge portion of the Western audience in the hope that the Far Eastern audience will bail them out without realizing that wokeness alienates the entire Far Eastern audience. This is very true, Gary. I understand. I've seen a thing with Midnight's Edge talking about how China may have canceled Disney. In terms of carrying their woke shit over there, which I'm encouraged by. What do you think?
Yeah, I did a video on it. I think it's very encouraging. Because,
I didn't see that. You did a video on the China thing?
Yeah, when about a week ago, last Friday.
Okay, I missed
Marvel getting canceled in China, and then I went over an article on Friday of it was in the Hollywood Reporter. The relationship of Hollywood and China might be over. So it's coming off of the heels of the Marvel thing and Chloe Zhao. It's all Chloe Zhao is at the heart of it. She criticized China back in 2013. So they were very happy with her and praising her when she won her Best Picture for Golden Globes, and then they erased her from the internet because she criticized China in 2013. Now the Eternals won't be shown in China. Neither will Shang-Chi for completely different reasons. Actually, racist reasons. Extremely racist reasons is why they won't show it. And they see it as pandering. So, they tried to make two movies that were damn near specifically for Asia, for China, and they're banned now unless something changes.
Oh dear. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt their numbers. That's gonna hurt, which leaves them less and less wiggle room, less and less recourse, other than to listen to the damn fans. Listen to fans. Sell us something we want to buy, not things that you want us to buy. That is the key. That is the way. If you want to survive, Disney, Viacom, CBS, BBC, y'all need to start listening to your audience and selling us what we want. Jesus. Channel Surf with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Channel Surf. Says Sam Goldwyn said it long ago. Messages of a Western Union. How did New Hollywood forget what original Hollywood understood? You got me. God knows. Old Hollywood was no paragon of virtue, but in some ways far superior to the garbage that we have got now, Channel Surf. No doubt about it. Mansplainer. We've got the Mansplainer in the audience. Wow. With a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mansplainer. Says, thoughts on J.J. Abrams' Batman animated series. I can imagine wacky mystery boxes of the week or Batman wanting the Gotham police defunded. Oh, my God. I was really excited when I saw the announcement in Variety that you had, Bruce Timm and Matt Reeves and Jar Jar. And I'm like, oh, that was it. That's the poison pill. It's like, no, listen, really, look, this barrel of water is 99% pure. It's just 99% pure. And what's the other 1%? Oh, it's Ebola. It's like, well,
Would he do it like that?
Oh, sorry. What the? Yeah, it's. Oh,
what a horrible disappointment that they're reviving a new Batman animated series that's going to focus on the noir aspects of Batman, which is something I dearly love. I love the darkness of the city and having noir stuff. And then Jar Jar Abrams. Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna for one. Yeah, that got buried under all the other stuff. They released a frame of footage from the Superman animated series, which looks like Lower Decks. And by the way, Superman is being voiced by the same guy who voices Bulmer, Jack Quaid.
Oh,
and
God, yes.
And then JJ does what he does. He's going to go remake something that's pure perfection. And he's like, oh, I'll get Bruce Timm, who's just an EP on it, by the way, folks. He's just an executive producer. They just got his name there to give it legitimacy. And there's no Paul Dini. All right. And without Paul Dini, that's like Batman without Bill Finger. So, the poster looked great, drawn by Bruce Timm, and it's going to be a more accessible, relatable Batman the Animated Series. We got one. Make a new one. Make a different one. Or get Bruce Timm and Paul Dini back and let them do their thing. And then J.J. Abrams is trying to copy the success of Tim Burton. Remember, they introduced the animated series on the heels of Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I saw the first episode on prime time. They released the first episode in prime time, 8 p.m. on Fox.
Mm-hmm. And it was great. The first episode was the Man Bat.
Yep.
Kirk Langdon, and it was damn fine animation. I mean, it just set the tone perfectly for that show. God, they should just they should just bring back Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. That's it. But no, Jar Jar is going to stick his willy in everything that comes along, and it's just going to be awful. Don't buy any stock in Warner Brothers until after you've seen that. It's gonna going to be a shitstorm, almost certainly. I mean, God knows, maybe Jar Jar Abrams too busy to care, and he's just putting his name on it. In which case, it might be good. But the more Jar Jar there is in it, the worse it's going to suck. That's just the bottom fucking line. Stewie Cthulhu with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Stewie. Says, "Hail Overlord DVD, destroy Hollywood, push the button."
I would like you to push the button.
I know, Harvey. I know. I'm thinking about it because things are almost getting worse all the time. I don't know. That's news with Batman and that Superman, Gary. Oh no, God! And you've got old Jimmy Olsen, another ginger, turned into a it looks like a rather dorky Urkel black man. How sad! How sad! This thing is just gonna not only bomb, it's going to make all of us lose our lunches when we watch this stuff. It's going to be awful. God, it's going to be awful. Do we know when it's coming out, this damn Superman thing?
Probably another year. They usually release these things a year in advance. So I'd imagine, I don't know, maybe unless they've been working on it in secret, it sounds like they announced it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's about a year away.
I'm not looking forward to it.
When are we getting Batman again? Release date. Oh, it got pushed back to 2022. Okay.
Good.
So, and I'm wondering if they remember there was supposed to be the Batman a long time ago that had Frank Miller involvement. Darren Aronofsky was supposed to. I'm wondering if I wonder if they repurposed his script.
Maybe.
It's out there, by the way, folks. If you want to see, read Darren Aronofsky's Batman, it's not great, by the way.
Oh, really? That's a disappointment.
It's better than Jar Jar Abrams' Superman Flyby, Drive-By, whatever the hell it was called. But
yeah. Oh, yeah. That Abrams script was absolutely horrible.
I promise you, Abrams, as you know, he's got $500 million, all the success. This guy's such a fucking egomaniac. He's just looking over at Kevin Feige, and he wants what Kevin Feige wants, because Abrams thought he was going to be the next Spielberg. He probably was told by Spielberg himself that you're going to be the next me. And if he does anything well, it might be, no, I don't think he does that well. I don't think he does anything well. I think he's a big fucking fraud and a hack. I know people were like, what was it, my last stream? They're like, Fringe was good. I'm like, okay, 1 out of the 15 fucking things he's done is watchable and good. Super 8 sucks. Super 8 is garbage. It's terrible fucking. The Mission Impossible movie he directed is good. I can barely remember it, but it's good. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Just a higher gun, and it's no better than the Brad Bird directed one to me. I think I don't know. I'm not a Mission Impossible fan. I think they're the most generic fucking movies out there. And I hate the fucking first one anyway, where they made Mr. Phelps the bad guy. I think that's fucking just unforgivable.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm still pissed about the first movie. It came out 20 years ago.
No, I hear you. I was pissed too. And I actually, oddly enough, I did enjoy Jar Jar Abrams' Mission Impossible 3. I thought pretty damn good movie.
Bad. I saw it in the theater, ate some popcorn, didn't want, I was fine with it. I just, like, if you asked me to tell you what happened, there was a rabbit's foot. Right?
I don't really remember. All I remember is Carrie Russell having the micro grenade go off in her head, and her eye went all crooked, and that was pretty creepy. And him that big dramatic opening where he's all tied up and basically begging for her life. That was good. It was well done. But stopwatch being twice a day right. That's
Did that come out after Casino Royale or before?
Before, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure before. I could be wrong, but did it in the chat? I think that Mission Impossible 3 came out before Casino Royale. Casino Royale is a masterpiece in my book. I love that movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to thank Mr. Zadok, who has donated a $99.99 super chat. Thank you, Mr. Zadok. Appreciate you, my friend. Well done, sir. Mercenary X21 with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Mercenary. Says, no matter what you say, the fight against the cult of wokeism started with Gamersgate, and the ghost of it has scared them so bad they can't let it go. On top of that, Gigi didn't die. It evolved to each stage. The cancer that's woke. What, Gamersgate?
Gamergate?
It became woke.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't really know a lot about it, so
I wouldn't say Gamergate itself died. I would say that the hashtag died, but there are people who were involved from Gamergate who are doing very well right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some that aren't. And it's, the cream rises to the top, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that some of those channels that you're watching now came from Gamergate. That's why you don't want to put too much credence into a hashtag, right? So hashtags are hashtags. That's all they are. And whether we use them or not, you can use them whenever you want. You can still use them, and they can become relevant again. At times, there's quiet periods, but in the meantime, we have more and more people practicing common sense. Right. That's what we're looking for, is common sense and some, levity and some, just basically, people, telling it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we have more and more of those people every day coming on this platform, making their own channels, joining our chats. That's what we need. And the most important part of that is it not being organized. So they can't do things like connect, to people who really have no connection whatsoever. Right. Because that's what they try to do. Like with Comicsgate, I think that was, I don't know. I was around in the early days before it was called that. When people were using that term, there's a lot of people who took credit for the term, but I think it was one that was placed on them by the media. That would be the way I remember it best. And I was there, but it doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just a hashtag, like RIP Doctor Who, right? I still use it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not like a movement or anything. It's just a bunch of people use RIP Doctor Who. And, it goes back to when you and I were talking about Star Trek. I went over an article and we were talking about Parrot Analytics, and they were judging the popularity of Star Trek off of hashtags. And we said, hey, let's stop using the Star Trek hashtag. And before that, I had stopped using the Doctor Who hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were counting that as popularity. So when I'm talking about Doctor Who, I don't want to give it any kind of bump at all. So I'm going to do RIP Doctor Who. And then, with Star Trek, we have Fake Trek, right?
Yeah,
that's the one
Fake Trek is good.
Yeah, I think that's the one I use the most. And that keeps it from counting to their bean counters that so we don't contribute to it like seeming popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's what else the hashtag can do.
Yeah, I've tried to emulate that. I think that's very smart. Good strategy, Gary. Good strategy. Crazy Pineapple with 2 super chats in a row, a $5 super chat and a $10 super chat. Thank you, oh crazy one. Crazy Pineapple says Descartes stated, I think, therefore I am. The SJWs state, I feel, therefore I'm woke. Humanity is regressing. Hail my legion, Gary. Hail Crazy Pineapple. And he also says, gentlemen, the voices are growing louder and louder. The exozone must return. The truth is out there, and it is waiting for you to unveil it. Hail Lord Doomcock and Nerdrotic. The people are clamoring, Gary. We must answer their call soon. We must. Michael Beacom with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Michael says, regarding the new Indiana Jones, new Picard, etc., it is about corrupting our icons. The equivalent of the denunciations Korean POWs were forced to make. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. They want to go ahead and corrupt our icons. They want to demoralize us. They view us as enemies. They view Western civilization as decadent, as woke, as colonial, whatever you want to call it. They hate it. And yeah, they're trying to basically corrupt our culture one pop culture moment at a time. And they really are that nasty. Muzeppa Papa Bobo has joined the channel membership. Thank you, Muzeppa Papa Bobo, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you at the Dominion level. Also, we've got Sean Fitzpatrick has joined the channel membership as well. Thank you, Sean. He is a Dumentite, which is fabulous. Thank you, Sean, very, very much. And that's a Muzeppa Papa Bobo. What a name. M Tax Shark. We got a lot of sharks in the chat today. M Tax Shark with a $5 super chat says, "Hail. Someone on Odin's stream today noted what you have. Cavill could be the Cary Grant of today. Sadly, there are not writers or producers." Yeah. I mean, he definitely could be a massive star, and the guy's heart is in the right place. He's really a pretty grounded guy for being such a handsome movie star. But yeah, unfortunately, you've also got to have good writers, producers, directors, and Hollywood is antithetical to that at the moment. They don't like competence, because competence is racist and sexist. Incompetence, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. They're going to pay. They're going to pay eventually. Tycho TMA1 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tycho. Says, the normies are being infected. Everything's lost. Push the button. I'm not going to push the button, at least until I see Orville season 3, for God's sakes. When is that coming out? We need Orville. Where's our Orville? Gary, have you heard anything from your sources?
They're still filming.
Well, when are they going to release it? God knows they must have a bunch of episodes already in the can.
I don't know. I'm thinking this year.
I hope so, man. It's been too long, way too long. We need some more Orville. Hail to the Orville. Sam Whiskey with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Sam. Says, hail Doomcock and Nerdrotic. I saw Buster Crab's Flash Gordon and it made me smile again. Yeah, that's fun stuff. I'll never forget what they did to Luke Skywalker. Nor will any of us here, Sam. Neither will any of us here. Ed Starr with a wonderfully generous $50 super chat. Thank you, Ed. Says, Bob Garfield, co-host of NPR's On the Media, was fired by New York Public Radio for violating the company's anti-bullying policy. He got angry at several staff meetings. Oh, and the writers for On the Media, they couldn't take a little chewing out for their substandard work. This is why these things suck, because the writers can't handle criticism. They can't handle not having everything that they do give them a trophy or a ribbon or some kind of kudos for their rampant mediocrity. Poor guy. I am sorry to hear that, Bob Garfield. NPR, man. I bet you they're pretty damn woke.
Oh God, yes.
They're not happy. They're not happy these days. So what else is there how else is Hollywood dumb? I think we were mentioning a few things earlier at the top of the show.
I think we could wrap it up with Predator, right? So
yes.
There's the Bounding in the Comics article I'll look at real quick here. I tweeted about it this morning before I got off Twitter for the rest of the day, because I don't spend that much time there. You know, it's just
that's wise. It's poisonous. It's
horrible,
toxic.
Yeah, it's a time suck for creativity too, and it's not really. It's a different platform than YouTube, so I don't usually pull my info. I know a lot of YouTubers do that, and that's great. And it's good to talk to the audience that way. But like the way I go about making videos is if something comes across my way that I care about, that's the most important part. B, can find a way to entertain you with it, and C, inform you as well. Like as best as I can with my opinion. By the way, it's just my opinion. I don't think I'm the end all be all. I'm wrong about shit. And that's fine. But when it comes, like, that's why I don't make a video on absolutely everything, because I just don't care. It's like, you know, I know there was a lot of people talking about like He-Man and She-Ra and stuff, and it's like that's not my thing. Like I never watched them as a kid. I was never into it at all. I would feel like a total imposter talking about it. But, you know, like Clownfish, they actually fucking watched it. They knew what they were talking about. They did videos. So I just watched their videos. And I would tell people to watch their videos. But that's why I don't make a video on absolutely everything. Predator, I fucking love Predator. Predator is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And that's my wife's favorite movie.
Wow.
And yeah, like fucking Predator is it was so fucking good and surprising because like you're like whoa because you like before, you know, it was just Arnold was in an action movie or he was Conan, but this is like mixing Arnold in sci-fi, and then by the end Arnold got his ass kicked most of the time in this one, right?
Yeah.
And there was all these fucking just huge muscular fucking badass motherfuckers like getting their asses handed to them by this thing, right? And it was such a cool fucking concept. You think they could have just ran with that forever, but what they found out is Predator is not a franchise. Predator, and I say this about Terminator 2, I say the same exact thing. Predator and Terminator are Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Yes, they had good directors. I believe there was it McTiernan, right? John McTiernan did Predator, and we had, of course, James Cameron on Terminator, but they're still Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. This is not a franchise that can survive without him. It's been proven time and time again. I love the comic books, Alien versus Predator and Dark Horse, fucking great shit, but they never adapted that stuff truly. And now it's reached the end. This is peak fucking cringe Hollywood because Amber is going to take on the Predator. Amber is going to so kick his ass. And you and I, we know Amber. We know Amber because she was in a show that we both enjoyed for the first couple of seasons, Legion. So, and she played the same character in Legion. She played this kick-ass girl, and she looks like, you know, a cheerleader. She looks like a cheerleader. She looks like a 16-year-old cheerleader. And when I first, for one, the plot synopsis was out there about a year ago. I didn't make a video because I didn't think it was real because it read like a fucking Babylon Bee article. So Amber, here we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me
get the
pop
article.
that up for you here.
Let me get the article up. Let's talk about Amber. Oh my God, Amber.
Let's talk about Amber.
So I'm gonna kick this Predator's ass and then get her. And then she's gonna subvert some gender tropes on the way, bitches.
Oh, that is stunning and fierce and brave.
So, and like she's cute, all right. And she was like her character in Legion was fine. She shared a body basically with another. Carrie Loudermilk,
right? Yeah.
And it was her male version was like this kind of super scientist, and then she was the muscle, and that was subverting tropes with that, but it worked in that show, okay, because she was an X-Men, she was a mutant. But her name is Amber Mid Thunder. Is it Mid Thunder? Oh boy, that's going to be a bad last name if she gets like gains some weight and stuff. The Sioux Tribe actress, best known for her roles as Carrie Loudermilk on FX's Legion and Rosa Ortecho in the CW's Roswell, New Mexico, which was the remake of Roswell, which I never watched, has reportedly been cast as the gender norm and tribal tradition defying lead of Disney's upcoming entry into Predator franchise. Wait a minute, because there's some major there's some real cultural appropriation going on here that we're going to talk about.
Oh my God.
News of Mid Thunder's casting was first revealed by Discussing Film, who announced on May 21st that sources close to the project had allegedly informed them that she will play the lead role in the film. Mid Thunder's, I don't know, that's probably not how you say her last name, but I don't care. Character is described by the entertainment news source as a Comanche woman who goes against the gender norms and traditions of their tribe to become a warrior. Okay, for one, they couldn't find a Comanche actress, Doomcock. I am so offended right now. Oh my God, I'm literally shaking.
How can you play a Comanche if you're not? That is just awful.
Fucking Sioux playing a Comanche. Racist.
They need to sue the Sioux.
Yeah. Oh. This news from Disgusting Film, I'm sorry, Disgusting, if true, would confirm an earlier scoop from Murphy's Multiverse. Oh my God. Stuff's getting ridiculous. Which seemingly reported that the film would follow a Comanche woman who defies her culture's norms and decides to become a warrior. So I guess, I don't know anything about tribal politics or anything, but I do know I don't think a woman can become a chief. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, because I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I do I'm guessing that Comanches probably don't think about gender norms that much. They're too busy, like, I don't know, living their lives. According to the synopsis provided by Murphy's Multiverse, this is the part I could not believe. I'm like, this is fucking clickbait. This is a joke. This is a troll. This could not be a fucking a synopsis for a movie. And I got to find the right one here. No pilots here because they put the wrong one up front. Damn it, John. We really need to like jump 3 ads per paragraph.
Yeah.
Oh God,
this is horrible, man. This is absolutely.
I only watched fucking Mahler's review of this. I didn't watch the movie, and that was
I didn't see it either.
Oh damn it! You didn't put it in there, John. Come on. Hang on. I'll let me look it up over here. One moment.
Yeah, no problem. I'll read a few of these super chats here while we're waiting. We have got Arcadian Twilight with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Arcadian Twilight. Says SJWs and their enablers are like the cute kitty aliens in Galaxy Quest, from turning on their own to throwing the rock at any conservative they catch. An apt analogy, Arcadian Twilight. Well said, sir. I can see those cute, cuddly little aliens suddenly baring their teeth and descending. That's perfect. That's exactly what these woke wankers are.
Here it is.
Okay, let me see it.
In a recent it's from another article. Let me
okay.
Let me stop sharing that. I'm going to bounce back to that one after this. Because we want to support bounding. We do.
Oh yeah, bounding into comics is great.
This is from some shill crap site called Cinema Blend. It's garbage. In a recent report from the 5th entry into the series, if you aren't counting the Alien vs. Predator spinoffs, Predator 5 is allegedly taking viewers back in time to a pre-European Comanche tribe. The full synopsis was first reported by AVP Galaxy, which will supposedly follow Key, a Comanche woman who goes outside of the established gender norms to fight for her tribe, presumably against a predator. Through her fight, Key will attempt to prove that she is a capable leader of the tribe despite her gender.
You go, girl.
Because you know what all of the Comanches were doing back in the day? They got up. They said, good morning, yelling at Cloud. I want to subvert my gender norm. Or were they just trying to eat or
just trying to survive with all
being oppressed, being run off their fucking lands, like nope, gender norms.
Actually, I think when she became chief, that's when the tribe fell, when the European invaders took over, because maybe she wasn't really all that great a chief to start with. This is stupid. So she is gonna go mono womano against a predator, and I guess the rest of the Comanches are not gonna do shit about it. They're just
it's gonna be a period piece, like for real, and it's gonna be dances with predators or something, or like I've been doing research on my other video, so I gotta kind of this one a little bit just see if this is just bullshit, because god dang, that sounds like bullshit. But no, it's running, it's everywhere. It's everywhere that she's been cast as the lead in a Predator movie. And
boy.
yeah, if it was like no. See, the Predator, if you want to remake the Predator, you get Henry Cavill and Jason Momoa, and you put them in a movie together fighting the Predator. And get Jason Statham too. So you get Jason Momoa, Jason Statham, Henry Cavill. There's somebody else I could think of. You need somebody who's funny. You need somebody kind of funny.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt. And you put them up against the fucking Predator. And that would make $1 billion. See,
that would be great.
Sitting on my ass on a live stream.
That would be great. I would love that.
Get Matthew Vaughn to direct it from Layer Cake.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Didn't he also do X-Men First Class?
X-Men First Class, Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now that would be great. Pratt, him directing against a Predator. Shit. Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Hey, you know what would be funny? Here's another possible.
Gina Carano.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That just writes itself, doesn't it?
Beautiful people fighting predators. Right? They're fucking
that would be great.
Good looking people fighting predators, not like little waifs. I mean, because like the predator would skin her, like she wouldn't even be like the predator. That wouldn't even be like a breakfast hors d'oeuvre for the predator.
Yeah, it would be nothing.
What do you think she weighs?
She looks like she weighs 90 pounds.
Buck 12,
if that.
Okay, wait,
90 to me, but I don't know. But
Thunder Tits. Oh, Thunder. What's her last name again?
Thunder. Mid Thunder. Miss Thunder.
Sorry, Mid Thunder.
Mid Thunder. What the fuck is Mid Thunder anyway?
Like in the middle of something. She's 5'5". She's 5 foot.
This is so dumb, Gary. This is so dumb because what predator is gonna want to fuck around with her? I mean, literally, the predators come here to hunt, to have good prey. You know, theirs is a warrior cast. You know, they want to bring down fearsome prey. They don't want to go out and shoot a koala bear. They want to go out and shoot a tiger, for an apt analogy. And that chick is not it. That chick. What the fuck? Where are they? What, he's gonna put it on a bookshelf somewhere back on his home world? That's not a trophy you want to display. That's sad. That is just so implausible. It's ridiculous.
Yep. I mean, again, nothing against her. She took the role. She's cute. I mean, she looks way too young, but like she looks like a kid against the predator. This movie I just put up, this thing is gonna fail spectacularly. It's just gonna fucking bomb. You're gonna hear this bomb. It's gonna reverberate to the Big Bang. It's gonna fucking bomb so hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be absolutely awful. You know what would have been a good movie? How about this? How about like a movie crew is out in the jungle, like shooting a standard horror kind of a movie or science fiction movie, and this predator starts just plowing through all the actors one by one, and the only one that can stand up to him is a guy who's a stunt man who has had actual like military training, and then a MMA woman who happens to be Gina Carano. Now that would be great.
Yeah, I would put Gina Carano in every action film for the next 10 years.
I agree.
But like, yeah, Henry Cavill, Gina Carano, Jason Statham, Jason Momoa, Chris Pratt, Gal Gadot, directed by Matthew Vaughn, written by Matthew Vaughn, and fucking take all my money.
Predator wouldn't dare to attack that bunch. Oh, this is awful, man. This is horrible.
See,
so it's going to be back in time too. It's going to be an old.
Yeah, it's like, dude. And the thing I just pitched right there, like this is what Hollywood needs to be doing to get people back. Like they need to you need to immediately stop fucking around. And the thing is, they can't because maybe if these were normal studios, which they're not anymore, they had like one head or they had one strong voice. No, everything has to go to committee. It has to go up the line to the parent company and committees, fucking meetings. But let's get some more project managers to talk about it. It's like, nah, that's why this shit can't be good.
Absolutely. And the thing about that plot, if they did it, is there would be a great opportunity to make fun of Hollywood and wokeness, like you have the set and you have like the diversity casting and you've got, the ratioing and the percentage of gay characters and everything. And just the Predator doesn't care about that shit. Predator's going through and just whacking them, making them less diverse and less alive. It would be great.
You have to have a scene with Chris Pratt and his agent, and they're like, they're all ready to go. He's like, I can't let you on the set. He's all, why? Well, we just missed the Oscar cutoff. So the only you can go back on the set is you need to come out as gay. And he's like, no. How about bi? Can I come out as bi? No, it's got to be gay.
We've already got a bi guy. We've already got a bi guy in the cast. We can't have that, Chris. Listen, Bubba, you got to take one for the team. Yeah. What do you mean? You mean I actually got to bend over? No. You just have to say that you bend over. Come on, Chris.
Yeah, you don't have to actually do it. None of these people are actually gay who are sitting there gay.
It would be hilarious. You could really make it funny. And then when the Predator like kills the bi character, it's like, well, we need a new bi guy, throwing up their hands. Now we're in trouble.
A good joke. I'm not saying this about Chris Pratt, but a good joke in the movie would be, well, I was kind of saving that for when I was getting canceled.
I mean, that was my ace in the hole. No pun intended. That was my emergency go kit for when I get canceled. I can't break out the bi card now. I mean, it could be hilarious, and meanwhile Predator is just plowing through them, just taking all these like woke wankers and just chewing them up. And maybe Chris Pratt is the only guy there, along with a stuntman who could be like someone like oh Christ, now his name is Drax, in Guardians of the Galaxy. What's his name? Dave Bautista. Yeah. And then Gina Carano. And the rest of them get plowed through in various hilariously funny, deadly ways. I mean, it could be a comedy. It could be fun, horror, comedy again, like it used to be in the old days. I think it'd be great.
Yep. Like the thing about the original Predator was it was funny. It was a fun. It did all the things a movie was supposed to do. It thrilled you. It made you laugh. It was frightening, and it was kick fucking ass. It had that thing called masculinity, which is just being sapped out of everything now. And you can't go into genre, which was built on it, and then just remove all the masculinity, because that means you just destroyed the foundation completely. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying like it has to be, a dude fest, but like, you know what? No, a Predator movie. Yeah, kind of does.
It does.
It does.
Sorry. Not everything has to be about women. Not everything has to be about gay people. Not every fucking thing under the sun has to be woke and ratioed and calculated out to death. Some movies just ought to have men kicking ass.
Yeah. And you know what? There can be movies that can be completely LGBTQ. That's all they are. That's fine.
Sure. Absolutely.
But like to your point, Lord of the Rings doesn't have to have anything in that at all. It has it. There's no reason. We had somebody come out and say there's no Asian representation in there. Well, how do you fucking know? How do you know? Have you read the Silmarillion? Have you heard? Tolkien laid out a pretty detailed world. It was a life's work. He worked out fucking tides and cycles of the moon. And geology and tectonic plates, and like his world went from flat to round. He thought about this shit. It's fuck them all. And then
Yeah.
these idiots
Well,
come in who, I mean, they took one or two diversity training courses, and now they're experts on everything, and they're going to tell us how to live our lives because they're such good people, because they sat through, and they probably didn't even pay attention to like a couple of half-hour diversity trainings.
right. Yeah. They're all phonies.
Phonies.
They're all phonies. And this movie is going to be atrocious. I mean, I guess it could be set in modern day. I guess, there's still extant tribes like on reservations and stuff. So maybe she's stepping up and challenging the patriarchy in modern day or something. I don't know.
Back in time. They said going back in time.
Well, then that's going to be.
Well,
I
that's
like
what
that. Dances with Predator.
Unofficial synopsis said. We don't know. What we do know is Amber is going to star in a Predator movie. Oh my God. Amber.
Very stunning and brave. Yeah, that's just fucking awful, dude. That is just fucking awful. Oh, Josh Krushke says predators do not hunt women and children. Yeah, isn't that right?
Well, yes.
Or is that old and then they scrap that for sequels?
They killed some women and children in the fucking comics.
Maybe they didn't hunt them. Maybe they just slaughtered them.
Yeah, they kill them.
But they didn't actually hunt them. I don't know, man. It just seems like a terrible idea. It's just going to be a joke. I am not optimistic about this either. In fact, I'm looking forward to ripping it to pieces when I see it, because it's going to stink. There's just no way it's not going to stink.
I want to read my old AVPs and stuff now. A buddy of mine colored them. So when Dark Horse first started producing them, when Dark Horse just came on the scene, because Dark Horse came from, I think they were originally Eclipse, right? It was part of, and they bought some of the Pacific Comics stuff, if I remember correctly. I might be off on that, not sure. But when Dark Horse was starting out, they were one of the first to digitally color. So they used Colorcraft, and a buddy of mine worked for Colorcraft, named Scott Jones, and colored a bunch of those books. And I had some original art.
Oh, cool. I used to like the Paul Gulacy Batman versus Predator Dark Horse comic book. Remember those, Paul Gulacy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Paul Gulacy's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very good.
He worked on, his famous work is Shang-Chi. Yeah, he did a lot of good Shang-Chi stuff.
Yeah, he was very good. He did some good stuff with Pacific Comics way back in the day. Cat Yarond. He had a way of drawing. In this one story he drew a character look very much like James Coburn. I don't know if you remember that one, but it was quite good.
I don't. I'm familiar with some Pacific Comics. I was fascinated by them as a kid, because I always just thought there was like Marvel, DC, and Charlton. Then I'm like, what's Pacific Comics? And
right.
San Diego. What? Yeah. Pacific Comics started from a comic shop in San Diego. So
nice. They did a good run. They just couldn't keep it going, which is too bad.
No, they couldn't. Hey, Rocketeer, Pacific Comics.
Yeah, Rocketeer, man. God, that was a good movie, by the way. I like that movie a lot.
I love that movie. And Joe Johnston, he directed the first Avenger, which is a damn good movie, which is totally underrated. I think that is, to me, it's as good. I'm going to get killed for this, as Winter Soldier. I absolutely love it. I think it's a fun superhero movie. I think it's a solid origin, and it's got a classic line in it. I could do this all day. It's just fucking good. That whole like making him scrawny. I just thought, reckon Red Skull.
Well done. Yeah. But boy, I'll tell you what, definitely Rocketeer had that element of fun.
Yes.
Just really innocent, wonderful fun, harkening back on so many different things, Hollywood and, World War II. And I love at the end when Paul Scovino is the gangster, and he says, "Hey, I may be crooked, but I'm as American as apple pie." And I don't like any Nazis, and teamed up with him at the end. That was pretty good. Pretty damn
Yeah.
good movie.
And it had Locke,
What was that?
Locke, right? From Lost.
Oh yes, he played Howard Hughes, right?
Yeah.
With the Spruce Goose. That was a great movie. Great score by James Horner too. God, that was a good movie. That was such a great score that they used it a lot in other trailers throughout like the 90s. You hear that Rocketeer theme all the time in trailers, just like they used the soundtrack to The Natural in an awful lot of film trailers back then. Remember? I think it was Thomas Newman, or was it Randy Newman who did the score to
Oh, that's a coin flip.
yeah, I know. It's a great score. Very great score.
It is. I have it on Blu-ray. Is
Very
there a
good.
Rocketeer? Let me check.
Rocketeer is so damn
Probably not,
good.
but
I love that movie. What shall we consign the Predator to?
oh my God. What was the torture that the Comanches used to do? Didn't they used to? Well, not the Comanches. There was some tribe.
Oh yeah, they would like drive the things through your pectoral muscles and lift you up by them.
I didn't know that one. I was thinking of the one where they like made you stare at the sun. They cut out
yeah, that's terrible. God, that's an awful one. Yeah, we should do that.
Let's do that one.
Let's have the Predator movie stare at the sun until they see the fucking light. I like it. Thank you for passing that sentence, Gary. Now, folks, I just want to let you guys know, both Gary and I have a lot of work to do. We are very far behind. So what we're going to do is wrap it up early tonight. I think maybe just another 20 minutes and then we gotta hit the road, folks. But just wanted to let you guys know that. And let's read some more super chats, shall we, Gary?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Let's see. Captain Spire with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Captain. Says, I have a question. Why is it when the woke create a character, its image, manner, and speech check every box? Yet when we point out the same characteristic in that person, that makes us ists and phobes. Captain Spire, that's a damn good question. I think because they're hypocrites and liars, and they cover up their racism under a veneer of virtue, and I think they're a bunch of damn phonies, just straight up. That's my opinion, Captain. Yeah. They're awful in that regard. Sam Whiskey with a $2.99 super chat. Thank you, Sam. Says, is Amazon buying the 007 franchise?
Oh,
well,
that's
MGM,
crazy.
maybe.
So that's the right to distribute it.
Right.
Not the right to the franchise, though.
Right.
So rumors are $9 billion for MGM. So, I mean, that's nothing to Amazon. Okay. It's absolutely nothing, but it would it's crazy because it's overpaying. Like, I'm guessing by $9 billion. That's my guess. MGM's got nothing. They've got nothing. And now there's the rumors of Warner Brothers is moving into Discovery. And then a guy, one of the main shareholders, signed a release something to make it easier to sell in the future, which has got everybody leading to Disney's going to buy. No, they're not. Disney can't afford to buy any more fucking franchises. But Amazon can.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Really, Amazon could buy pretty much all of Hollywood if they wanted to.
They could. Like, Amazon could buy Star Wars. Amazon could buy Marvel. Amazon could buy Disney.
Yeah. Why don't they? That's crazy. That's crazy that they don't. My God.
Well, if Amazon bought Disney, then we would see if our monopoly laws are really a fucking joke or not. Because that would be no.
Yeah, I think they are a joke, Gary. Sadly, I really do, and I'm sad about that. Listen, monopolies are bad capitalism. They're just bad for customers. They're bad for other companies. They're so bad that, in this case, I do support the government regulating that, because it's so bad for competition. It's so bad for the public, bad in every way. It's just like, it's like capitalism taken to the self-destructive degree. You know, it's almost like capitalism becomes cancerous, and it becomes so successful that the rampant growth just devours the body, and the body dies. You know, it's just not good. Ovaltine Patrol with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Ovaltine Patrol. Says their goal is to tear down civilization, then either seize power or, failing that, plunder what they can before order is restored. Yep. It's pretty much a subversive, passive-aggressive way to try to corrupt our society. But we are a front line of defense. We're right there, man, because it's springing out from pop culture and spreading out, and we're fighting it like firefighters on trying to contain a brush fire, but it's kind of gotten out of control already on us. So I don't know how successful we'll be. Westfield 90 with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Westfield. Says they will not reverse course. Only a total economic depression kills the cancer. Wow. He compared it to that too. When enough woke kids are kicked out of their six-figure startup jobs, will this stupid fixation on color, speech, and race end? Yeah, I think that's a good prediction, Westfield 90, and yeah, well said. We need them. We need them to be broke. I think the COOF has done one good thing, and that's like brought Hollywood 7 years further into the future, where they have to deal with this shit, and it's about time. It really is. Captain Spire with a $5 super chat. Thank you again, Captain. Says, sorry I was gone for about a month. I was camping on an Iowa river, living a week away from any technology, and spent the other 2 weeks fixing cars. Sounds like paradise, Captain Spire. Shit, I don't blame you vanishing for that. That sounds like a hell of a great time. Cheers to you, Captain. It's great to have you back, brother, and appreciate you coming to the Inquisition this Sunday. Michael Hill with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Says, hail Doomcock, hail Gary, hail all of the chat. My 2 favorite YouTubers. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.
Thank you, Michael. You're one of Michael Hill's favorite YouTubers, Gary. That's fantastic.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
You're one of mine too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Just wanted to say
right back at you. Same here.
Thank you, brother. Brian Anderson with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Brian. Says, Nerdrotic, these corporate aristocrats attempting to condition us with this woke garbage are trying to ideologically subvert us into neo-feudalism. Your comment, Gary, was directed to you.
Neo-feudalism. Yeah, in a way. They are trying. I mean, like there's a royalty. There's a elitist class that really wants us to be subjected to the same rules as each other, but not to them. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they basically want to render us peasants of the imagination. You know, they're trying to stifle our speech, stifle our thought, and control our taste. They're basically trying to bring us to our knees, intellectually speaking, and we refuse to fucking bend to that shit. We simply won't do it. So it's not going to work. But I think it is. I think you're right, Brian. I think it is an attempt. Tycho TMA1 with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Tycho. Says opinion on For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus. My opinion. I wish it wasn't on Apple TV Plus because I don't get Apple TV Plus. Gary, have an opinion other than that on For All Mankind?
I thought it was going to be this big woke fest, and then Bird of Prey 5 said that it's not, so that we should check it out. Yeah. So yeah, I but I'd have to get Apple. See,
I know one more service to subscribe to. Now, people are saying you can do like a trial and then you could binge it in like 7 days. So maybe that's what we should do. I love Ron Moore. I respect the man immensely. So I'll give it a shot if I can find access to it easily. That's the problem. The Grizzly with a $10 super chat. Thank you, The Grizzly. Says, if you like Witcher 3, you should read Warhammer. The conjunction, magic, and monsters pretty much lifted from Warhammer Fantasy. Not that games woke shop themselves don't steal a lot. Fair enough. Yes, people have been trying to steer me towards Warhammer for quite a while, and I just don't have a lot of time to get into something new like that. But I do respect it. I do understand that it's good stuff. And, in an ideal world, I would have enough time to check it out. And maybe I will someday. Thank you for that recommendation, Grizzly. Kit Kat with a 10-pound super chat. Thank you, Kit Kat. Says, once upon a time, they made 3D movies and people had to wear special glasses to see them. This was, they said, the future of cinema, and everyone would have to accept it. So it will be with wokeness. I love your optimism, Kit Kat. Love your optimism. I hope you're right. I truly do. I hope it will be just a passing fad like the fucking hula hoop or 3D glasses or New Coke, especially New Coke. I would like it to be gone. Incognitus Jones with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Incognitus Jones, who says, Bad Batch, more like Adventures of Babysitting in Space. I can't argue with it, Incognitus Jones. I do like it. I think it's got enormous potential. I like the characters. I think it's, seeing Tarkin again is a lot of fun. There's just an awful lot that could be done with the Bad Batch, but they've got to get this babysitting, little girl shit under control, because it really, it's hurting it for me, guys. It's hurting it for me.
No, it reminds me when, it's been a while, but Star Wars Theory, a few months ago, was starting to kind of wake up, and he's like, they're kind of pussifying everything. And that's not what he said exactly, but that's basically what we've all been noticing. And so you have a bunch of people who want to watch some badass Star Wars, and it's like, it's a little kiddie show. You're watching a little kiddie show. And that's why I don't watch the Bad Batch, and that's why I'm not giving it the time of day. I need something. I'm fucking 51. I'm not going to watch a fucking animated thing with a little girl in it.
Yeah.
It fucking move me at all. There's a point where, and that's not judging. I've kind of felt that way about a lot of animated stuff. As I grow older, I want some more sophisticated stuff. And it's out like Invincible. That was more sophisticated. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
I want some badass, fun Star Wars, Gary. Yeah. I mean, with balls. That's what it is.
Well, Disney's had it for damn near 10 years. Have they delivered on that?
No, they haven't. They haven't. There have been some damn good things on The Mandalorian. It's not been consistent, but there has been some damn good stuff on The Mandalorian.
Yeah, the Mandalorian has been the closest to. But then, honestly, it I can tell you right now, it did turn intersectional at the end a little bit. It did. Yeah. You can argue with me on it, but he was carrying the baby. He was being the mom.
Yeah.
All the three women were protecting him. Come on, it's Gina.
Yes.
And I love Gina, and I like Katie Sackhoff too. I think if you're gonna have women protecting you, those are the two I'd have protecting me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But you're right. You're right.
It's there. It just worked, but it was there.
Oh, it's just depressing. God almighty. If you made a Star Wars that was like Guardians of the Galaxy, it would be enormously successful. You can have badass stuff, fun stuff, romance, everything. What was really a Star Wars, what it was all about. And it's like they just can't see. I don't know if they're under strictures from Disney. I don't know if they're under mandates to kind of water it down a little bit for theoretically for kids. But the problem is, you've got to remember, kids love what adults love. Kids loved Star Wars. Adults love Star Wars. There was a severed arm in Star Wars. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan Kenobi chops off this motherfucker's arm in the cantina. Han Solo shoots another guy under the table. This was badass, cool shit. And it didn't hurt any kids. Didn't drive any kids away. To the contrary, kids loved it. Loved it.
And no, that scene, I was 7, right? So that scene was a little I was like a little scared from that, because I was a kid. But I didn't not like scared, not like I'm watching The Exorcist. Like my fucking sister took me to The Exorcist. That scared the fuck out of me. Like that gave me trauma.
That was
But
bad.
my sister's mean. Yeah, but no, it was like I wasn't entirely understanding, but that was what made it cool. Same thing with Star Trek. There was some Star Trek. Like, you watch Star Trek when you're 5, and that it's a little scary at times, but that's why I liked it. I'm like, ooh, this is cool.
That salt vampire would be scary to a kid.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit.
Oh yeah. And they don't seem to remember that. And I'm just sending it out there in case anyone at Disney's listening. Please, you can have kid-friendly Star Wars. That's great. Sure, that you can have a kid-centric show. And I think that the Bad Batch is that show. I think in their minds that they're thinking, well, we've got the adult demographic more covered with Mandalorian, and Bad Batch is one kind of for the kids. Well, that's fine, but you shouldn't have followed them up back to back. We should have had another show that's a little more hardcore, a little more rollicking and badass, and it's just, yeah. I think it's a mistake, but we'll see. We'll see how it shapes up. I hope they pull it back and realize, oh shit, we're duplicating the Mandalorian here, and kind of bring it back to something, because it's got potential. It does, especially if you love Clone Wars and stuff like that. It resembles that a lot. Harmon D with a $14.99 super sticker of the Invisible Man. Thank you, Harmon D. Appreciate the contribution, my friend. And Matt 317 with a $4.99 super chat, anticipating our discussion here. The perceptive Matt 317 says, "Hail, if you want a Star Wars with balls, I recommend Republic Commando, one of my favorite Star Wars games and shooters ever, and no kid who's the key to everything." Republic Commando. Star Wars game, folks. I would like to play it. Thank you, Matt 317. Not so Super Mario with a $1.99 super sticker of the Cheshire Cat vanished. Thank you, Not So Super Mario, for that. Shark Bites Art with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Shark Bites. Says, do you think Brie will be Mara Jade? If I am just calling it right now, folks, right now, if they make Brie Larson Mara Jade Skywalker and marry her to Luke Skywalker, that's the end of fucking Star Wars. I mean, that is just a bridge too fucking far, adding insult to injury, kicking Luke when he's already down, grizzled, with dried green milk in his fucking beard and disintegrated like a fart on the wind. And they're going to then saddle him with fucking Brie Larson as his wife? Oh, that's it, man. Game fucking over. That's just a bridge too fucking far. That is a deliberate provocation of the fans. Do not listen to Kathleen Kennedy. If this is her idea, it's a poison pill like Les Moonves left for Star Trek when he departed. It is a terrible, terrible fucking idea. I don't think they're going to do it, because if they do it, Star Wars fucking dead. So I'm just saying, okay? I hope they don't do it, because that would be massive fucking mistake. Massive mistake. Do you agree Star Wars would be fucking dead? That would be the last. Well, you already think they've done the last straw, but casting Brie Larson as Mara Jade, that's it, isn't it, man?
Like George Lucas's Star Wars died in 2012. So whatever we're getting now is just, like I said, it's like, it'd be like somebody buying the Beatles out fucking library and trying to reproduce it. You just can't. You can't. Facsimile, if you get the best people possible, but it ain't the fucking Beatles. This ain't Star Wars. This is George Lucas has no involvement in it. Like, and he's alive. It's not like a Tolkien situation. He's fucking here. And like because of their fucking egos, I mean, yeah, you bought Star Wars, and if you have George come in and run it, it'll be still his, but when he passes, it'll be yours, and it'll be better. Like, that's why it was dumb. The reason they wanted to separate from George is because Iger actually thought he could make a better Star Wars. That's what he essentially said in his fucking autobiography. That like the I want to run for president autobiography, and then then we saw what you actually do, which is nothing. He's a dumb weatherman. I love Lamp. That's how I see him. I see him as Brick Tamlin. That's how I see Bob Iger. He's Brick fucking Tamlin. And the weatherman is a dumb fuck. So yeah, he can't make better Star Wars. Just think back to the first fucking line from The Force Awakens. Hopefully this begins to make things right. It's like a big slap at fucking George.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they started their fucking franchise. That's J.J. Abrams. He put that in there.
Yeah.
So his first move was to disrespect George Lucas. And then he went on to make the single dumbest move in the history of cinema. There will be no dumber move than this. Forget Heaven's Gate. Forget about any failure you've ever heard before. Jar Jar Abrams did not put Han, Luke, and Leia together in a scene. That is, you should be banished from Hollywood forever for that. You had one fucking job. You had one thing to do. And somehow this guy skates free of this. And like, Rian Johnson sucks. Don't get me wrong. But Jar Jar's worse. Jar Jar's much worse. Because Rian Johnson's just a hired gun. Jar Jar is power in Hollywood.
He is. He absolutely is. And he really is the cinematic Antichrist. I've said it 50 million times. I'm going to go to my grave saying it. The guy is a contagion. He just destroys shit. That's all he does. You
are a reporter worth your fucking stones. I challenge you to anybody who gets to ask Jar Jar a question. You make the first one. Do you regret not putting Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together? I mean, you just fucking hit him with that. Everybody should hit him with that.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. There is no more damning question in all of fandom than that. You blew it. You had them for a brief window and you completely blew it. And I mean, you really did. It's not simply that, oh, well, we couldn't structurally get it together for the first movie. Well, that's fine, but then don't kill Han Solo, asshole. You killed Han Solo. You took him off the table. That was it. That was it for Han. I mean, Jesus. Mr. Zadok with a $99.99 super chat. Thank you, Mr. Zadok. Says, please show At the Dead DC some more love. Don't mean to draw too much attention, but I'll say to him that these days I think many people are struggling with this, myself included, but you're valued more than you probably know. I feel like Gary might have something to say. Are you talking about the Army of the Dead, or are you talking about zombies? I'll say to him, At the Dead. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, Mr. Zadok.
Repeat it. Let me see if I can.
It says, please show At the Dead DC some more love. Don't mean to draw too much attention, but I'll say to him that these days I think many people are struggling with this, myself included, but you're valued more than you probably know. I feel like Gary might have something to say.
Okay. At the Dead, is that like an account or?
Yeah, is that account, Mr. Zadok? Can you clarify just regularly in the chat? I'm looking for you to clarify. Yeah, what do you mean, Mr. Zadok?
Show him. Is he okay? Is there something wrong? Or
yeah, these days people are struggling with this, myself included. Struggling with what, Mr. Zadok? Maybe it was in the context of something we were discussing, but it's a little. We're having trouble figuring out what you're saying. Yeah. If you could please just in the chat, just call it to our attention, if you would, my friend. I'm watching for it. At the Dead DC is a member of the chat.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Please show at the dead DC. What's
What you
what's
struggling with?
what's going on at
Yeah.
the dead DC? What's wrong? If you read them, the first super chat put in there, it's about a member in this live stream that said he's suicidal. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. That's been, I mean, that's over the last year.
Yeah.
We've all had people email us. It's affected. I don't know. I'm guessing it's somehow peripherally affected everybody's life. It's
Yeah.
affected mine directly when I was younger, when I didn't understand it. And I can most certainly understand after this year, after the watching our government completely fail us in every facet of the way, and our institutions like the mainstream media fail us, like the world is crashing down on you. And then I don't know your personal circumstances. Just to repeat there, you're more valued than you can possibly know. The earth is better off with you here. And no matter like how bad a day gets, like this too shall pass. I know that sounds like really cheesy, but it's true. I live by that. Like how bad anything can get. I mean, I've been there. I've lost everything, and I've done it more than once. I've lost everything. And I thought my future was done. I'm done. There's no way I can make it in this world, but I did because I fought and I climbed and I refused to give up because, I found something to work for outside of me, because I thought I was worthless for a while. But that's the key, is to getting into that self-worth, right?
Yeah.
And because you're not worthless. Nobody's worthless.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you are, sir, among friends here. And I mean, we all have felt despair at various points in this past, year and a half, however long it's been. You're not alone. And I see now, Mr. Zadok, I read this out of order. Mr. Zadok said with a $49.99 super chat, very kind of you, my friend. He says, this message is to everyone to show a little love to At the Dead DC, who shouted out to Doomcock that he's suicidal and had made attempts, which I didn't see in the chat. Thank you for calling that to my attention, Mr. Zadok. Sending you love. Please do not self-delete. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Yeah. Trust me.
Please reach out to somebody in your life. And if you can't do that, there is resources. There's charities you can talk to, pick up a phone. And there's a lot of, I mean, if you need to call a hotline, but I would recommend that if there's somebody in your life you can talk to, please talk to them now.
Absolutely. God damn, I didn't even see that. I had no idea, Mr. Zadok. Thank you for shooting us these super chats here. And somebody just posted a phone number in the chat here. And I just reposted it. Presumably that's a hotline for these kinds of things. And Stellar Heather said he's doing better now.
Good.
But brother, listen, man, we need you. I hope that you are listening here. Yeah, Fatty just posted a link here to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Thank you, Fatty. I appreciate that. Yeah. Listen, I've had people in my life attempt suicide before, and it's just, oh God, just a moment of despair can just take you. Yeah, it's awful, man. It's awful. Please, just hang out with us. You a lot of geeks here. A lot of friends. You're one of us, man. And we're here for you, man. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh man, yeah. God,
there's a lot of people around here. That's what's great about this, that you can reach out to. But I mean, the first place you want to go is, people in your life. If you have any, I mean, not everybody does. I understand that. And yeah, you feel powerless, but and worthless, but you're not to somebody. You know, that's the first thing I thought about when my friend did it. Is like, you weren't worthless to me. You know.
Yeah. Did he attempt it or did he succeed?
Did it? Yeah, he succeeded.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
I've
I've had suicide attempts in my family, and you know, it's just devastating. It's just devastating. So I don't see him still in the chat. I hope he's listening though. And we'll reach out for help, because God knows we've got a community full of great people who really do care and have been there. And you don't want to do something permanent like that. And Pleasant Valley Picker CA in the chat is saying, my father killed himself. The survivors are the ones that feel the pain as they have to go on. That's true. That's true. Please be well, my friend, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need help. Okay. Please don't. And Lamer 5799, don't ever try that again. Okay, man. Please don't. Just don't, guys. Well, shoot. I think we've I think we've got to wrap this up pretty soon, Gary. You can certainly head on out. I think I'm going to do a few more super chats here, but I know we both have a lot to do here. Would you you need to head on out?
Yeah, I need to bug on out and finish my work.
I do too. I've got a video I got to make.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where because I know the intimacy coordinator news have been out there. I don't know if it's got what sparked it again, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's just weird, the timing of it. I've been working on a Lord of the Rings video for like fucking 8 days. I've been working on it on and
Seriously?
off. God, this thing's gonna be late, and then something else pops up. I'm like, really? Well, I kind of cover it in my video, so
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good video. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, we both got work to do, and maybe I can squeak in a Predator one. Probably not though. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks, chat. I appreciate you all. You guys are fucking wonderful. You have no idea how wonderful you are. You really
Absolutely. Don't. I'm gonna read just a few more super chats. I just want to see how many I can get here real quick. But thank you, Gary. Please subscribe to Gary's channel. It's posted here in the chat. He's obviously everybody knows him. Everyone's probably subscribed to him, but if you're not, please subscribe to your channel. Well, go ahead and give your info, Gary, real quick.
Oh shit, there it is. That's the info. I just found it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow. It's like the world. That's so weird that there's the synergy out there. Like, I'm like, this Lord of the Rings video. Oh, well, it's an older article, but yeah, it looks like it's making the rounds again. But yeah, you can find me at Nerdrotic Live, Nerdrotic Daily, which I run with Perry Chan, who's wonderful, a beautiful soul, and horribly vindictive to all of us, and in the best ways. And yeah, and you can also find me on Instagram. Mrs. Nerdrotic wants me to shout that out every show now. It's
excellent.
Instagram.com. Yeah, she's a good one. She runs the Instagram. It's Instagram.com/Nerdrotic, where you can win like merch.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
So, thanks for having me on, Doomcock.
You are welcome. Next week it'll be on Gary's channel, and we will plug away. Thank you, Gary. You have a good night, man.
You too.
Well, I'll try. I don't know. I'm probably not going to, but I'll try.
This. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, Gary. You take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, my friend. All right. I'm going to read some more of these super chats because you guys have been waiting. I can't stick around too much longer. Honest to God, I've got to get up early in the morning. I've got so much work, guys. I hate to leave early, but tonight it's kind of inevitable. But let me read some more of these super chats for you guys real quick. And we'll see where we go with it. Okay. The Last King of Scotland with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Your Majesty. Says, off topic, but WTF is wrong with Mecha Random blaming Snyder for his daughter's death and not even knowing she was adopted. Does she want attention? I don't know. I don't pass judgment on other YouTubers, and I don't know the context, and I didn't hear it. For what it's worth, I really like Mecha Random, and I helped her pick out that name. She and I go way back, and I support her and like her very much. I hope she's doing well. I don't know the source of that Last King of Scotland. I didn't hear it. It sounds kind of messed up, but again, I would need to know the context. Crazier Chris with a $5 super chat says, I just wanted to see my name on my TV. Hail Crazier Chris. It's a grand old name, and it deserves broadcast quality. Thank you, Crazier Chris. Nothing crazy about wanting to see your name on TV. We all do, kind of. Cal Skirata with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Cal. Says, World War woke vets go into combat with onesies, sippies, and blankies. And they complain about the people assigned to change the diaper. World War woke, ladies and gentlemen. World War woke. I love it, man. Let's make that a movie, shall we? I think it's a winner. Michael Beacom with a $5 super chat. Hail Michael Beacom, who says, Overlord DVD. Yeah, KK is not gone the same way Raymond Burr's wife was not gone in Rear Window. No one has seen her for a while, and the garden is tilled. Yes, sir, Michael Beacom. Yeah. Look, I've got some information about Kennedy. I've got some information about some serious things that are going on at Lucasfilm at the moment. And that's the video I need to make. That's one of the reasons why I have to get out of here early tonight. However, thank you, Michael Beacom. Yeah. If you don't think that something has changed with regards to Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm, I don't think you've been paying attention. Crazier Chris with another $5 super chat says, and it looked cool. Speaking of his name on the TV. Well done, Crazier Chris. Thank you, sir, for that super chat. And now you're a star. Congratulations. I love it. Crazier Chris. Not So Super Mario, however, with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Not So Super Mario, says, Hail Lord Doomcock and Gary. Any update on when a new Exozone might happen? I'm almost caught up with the old ones. Oh, well done, Not So Super Mario. Yeah, we may well damn well do it this week. I'll talk to Gary about it. We almost were able to make it the other week. I couldn't do it, but as far as I'm concerned, I think this Thursday might work out pretty well to do that. So I'll talk to Gary and we'll see if we can't pull that together. Jonathan with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jonathan. Says, since Star Wars has been in the gutter for a while and starting to crawl, I guess it's Marvel's turn. Yeah. Endgame is going to turn out to be, I think, a prophetic title for the end of the MCU. I think Endgame really was the endgame. I don't think there's any coming back from it. We'll see, but I don't know. I'm not optimistic about that. Thank you, Jonathan. Southeastern Kaiju with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Southeastern Kaiju says, Middle-earth has no equity. Deal with it. And he laughs and says, hail. No equity for Middle-earth. We can have equality of opportunity, but there is no equality of outcome in Middle-earth. Middle-earth is not communist Middle-earth. It's just plain Middle-earth. And Jonathan with a $5 super chat. Hail Jonathan says, I think you were a little harsh on Bad Batch. Loving the hell out of it, and it is an oasis in the desert. I will never give up on Star Wars. Jonathan, I will never give up on Star Wars so long as there's a glimmer of hope. I find a lot of hope in Dave Filoni. I find a lot of hope in Jon Favreau. I want them to succeed because when they succeed, we get our Star Wars back. But I have to be always honest. I have to call them like I see them, even when it's not quite pleasant. I'm enjoying the Bad Batch. I am. But this last episode really laid it on thick with the whole, Omega is maybe the the reason behind everything. And having the bounty hunter going after her, like, everyone was after Grogu, and you've got the innocent that needs to be saved by the big bad mercenaries. That just, it's a little bit much, Jonathan, but I share your optimism. I share your commitment to Star Wars, and I share your affection for, presumably, for Favreau and Filoni. I think they've got a lot of potential, and I want to see them. I want to see them realize it. And I would like to see Disney give them more of a free reign when it comes to these shows. I'm convinced that the similarities between the two shows may be mandated from above. That may be like they think, oh, we can do a formula that worked. It worked on The Mandalorian. It'll work on Bad Batch. No. It's a little too transparent, and I think they need to avert and swerve off. Or if it's going in a different direction, that's good too. And I'm waiting to see. I'm giving Bad Batch, some good vibes. I'm giving them a good review, more or less, and I want to see what happens. But they need to watch that, because that could very quickly get out of control and kind of wreck the whole show. I'm just saying. I have to be honest, I got to call the good with the bad, folks. I can't be quiet on something that hits me that hard. Kit Kat with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Kit Kat. Says, hail Doomcock and Midnight's Edge. You said Kennedy would be pushed out a year ago, and she was pushed out. Disney just kept very, very quiet about it. Well, Kit Kat, I think that's true. I've heard some things, and I can say that those of you who are waiting, I can tell you this: those of you who are waiting for an announcement that Kathleen Kennedy has been frog marched out of Lucasfilm, that she's disgraced, that she's washed up, that she's finished, that we're never going to get that. We're never going to get that. A Kit Kat has hit it on the head right here. That basically Kathleen Kennedy is going to be quietly eased out without fanfare, without a perp walk. There will be no announcement. She will just kind of thin out and thin out and thin out, and then be gone on the wind, like Luke Skywalker died at the end of Last Jedi. That's what's going to happen. Is it already happening? Yes. Yes, it is. The only question seems to be still, will she still be producing Indiana Jones 5? But beyond that, folks, hashtag Doomcock was right. Get ready to dust that off, because you're going to be using it a lot here in the coming months. Hashtag Doomcock was right. We're gonna show all those scoffers who's who and who knows what, right? Bun $2.99 with a $5 super chat. Hail Bun says, have you guys ever seen the epic rap battle between George R.R. Martin and J.R.R. Tolkien? If not, do check out Tolkien crushing Martin. Oh yeah, I've seen it. Gary saw it. In fact, we talked about that earlier. Bun. I hope you heard it. Thank you. Yeah, that is very, very funny. And yes, like I'm saying, folks, she will be eased out. She's going to thin out and thin out and thin out and be gone. Is she already gone? Well, it's hard to tell when she's 50% vapor at this point. So I'm just saying. And the Salty Vet says in the chat, Overlord can't forgive them for what they did to Star Wars and now what they are doing to the MCU. I respect that view. I absolutely do. I'm sympathetic, but I function very much on a strategic level. I want to win. What does winning entail? I think winning entails basically sticking to your guns, sticking to your battle plan until you get the outcome that you want. And the outcome I want is I want my Star Wars back. I want Star Trek back. And I'm willing to take some slaps in the face if victory can be achieved, but only if victory can be achieved. If it cannot, then I will abandon, sadly, Star Wars. But I think I'm seeing that we're on the right track. Kennedy is either on her way out or gone. And I have more reporting on that I will be sharing hopefully tomorrow. Filoni, he has been promoted, and rightly so. The man loves Star Wars as we love Star Wars. And he's delivered great Star Wars entertainment in the past. I think he's going to deliver more great Star Wars entertainment in the future. Jon Favreau, one of us, loves Star Wars, love what he's doing with it for the most part. And he is also squarely in Gina Carano's camp, trying to get her back. Don't know if that's going to happen or not. I have more reporting on that tomorrow as well. And these are rumors, by the way. These are all rumors that I'm going to be reporting on this stuff, which is all you can get out of Lucasfilm these days. But fascinating, man. I've got some fascinating stuff about what's going on at Lucasfilm right now. Really, really good stuff. So I can't wait to make this video, but that's why I have to get off early here to go and make the damn video, because I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow. I'm going to be incapacitated. Tomorrow's not going to be fun for me, guys. It's not going to be fun for me. Michael Loomis with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Says, do you guys think that with all this woke trash out there that amateur writers have a chance? And more Exozone, please. Yeah, amateur writers always have a chance, Michael. I mean, it's hard to punch through. It's hard to get noticed in all the din and the noise of the mainstream media and just the sheer amount of material that gets dumped out there. Quality will out eventually. I think the key is persistence in doing the work, persistence in marketing it, persistence in getting the word out. But ultimately, you've got to have quality. Quality is the thing. Quality is the thing. And we'll try to get you some more Exozone in the next week or two. Maybe this Thursday. I'll talk to Gary. We would have talked to it if we had more time, but we just ran out of time tonight. Block Frog with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Block Frog. Says, get ready for that fake alien invasion. Man, that would be something. That would be something. If that ever happens, it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off, or try to anyway. Eclipse Warlord says, one day I will catch an entire live stream. On that day, I will celebrate Eclipse Warlord, but thank you for popping in tonight. That's fantastic. And hail Green Lion Guardian. Hail to you, sir. That's great to see you here. And let's see. Kit Kat with a 5-pound super stickers of aliens and UFOs and saying, welcome to the US. It's got like Lady Liberty there. Got a little pictorial representation of aliens coming to Earth. I think that's very cool, Kit Kat. J-Lo Flicks with a $5 super chat. Thank you, J-Lo Flicks. Says, did you catch any of RMB's epic Midnight Metal last night discussing Ray's Hellathon? Ask him about it. Very exciting endeavor. Taking the reins. No, I didn't. I was crashed out last night trying to get some damn sleep. Had a lousy night though. I had stuff on my mind and I couldn't get my mind to shut down. I took my usual sleep aids, but I just had a fitful night's sleep, and it sucked. The Grizzly with a $20 super chat. Thank you again, the Grizzly. Very generous of you. Oh, Grizzly One says, Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666 has the best take on it. Styx, Hex, and Hammer 666. This is a distraction. This is daddy government rattling the keys saying no Biden, no bad economy, no border crisis. Look at the aliens. Look at the aliens. The news is Biden propaganda. Well, Grizzly, to be fair, man, this news came out during Trump's administration. So I can't see it, dude. This stuff was leaked while Trump was in the White House. I think there's more to it than that. Respectfully, sir. Although you could be right. You could be right. But it did start before Biden had any say in it. So I'm just saying. But again, I respect your opinion, and I don't get political. So it's an interesting take, but I suspect it's real. I suspect it's real. Johnny Ohm with a $5 super chat. Hail Johnny says, good evening, gentlemen. You guys ready to bring the guilty into the ring, flex on him, and then pile drive him to the floor? Oh, yes. The Predator project, Predator 5 coming out, has been pile driven, and it was carried out in a neck brace. And as far as Lord of the Rings goes, oh dear, there wasn't even enough of Lord of the Rings left to mop up. Not enough to mop up. Hail, Johnny Ohm, and thank you, sir, for that. Marcel Dufour with a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Marcel, says there can only be one Highlander. Yeah, and that'll be the original. I don't know about this remake, but still, I'll give it a look. Hell, Henry Cavill is Highlander. That's nothing to sneeze at. There's nothing to sneeze at. Neural Blossom says Harvey plushies or we revolt. Well, we'll see what we can do, folks. Maybe we could get some Harvey plushies made out there. Would y'all like that? The little Fez? That'd be fun. Classic Comics with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Classic Comics. By the way, Classic Comics, the other night at the Doomcock Roundtable on Discord, you were in there. I called on you, and you never responded, and then you just vanished. Were you having technical troubles, or what happened, man? I was sorry we missed the chance to talk to you. I figured it was some kind of technical thing, and I was really regretting hearing that. But please let me know, man, and if there's anything I can do to make it go smoother for you next time, just let me know. We missed you. I was looking forward to talking to you. Anyway, Classic Comics says, I bet Ramirez will be a whammon in the new version. Oh, God. So it'd be Ruthie Ramirez. I'm Ruthie Ramirez from the planet Geist. And I've come to Earth with my Auntie Flo. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That would be awful. Hail, Classic Comics. What a terrible idea. Please don't give Hollywood any more terrible ideas. They have plenty on their own, my friend. Hail, Classic Comics. And Patrick Mousson with a $5 Australian super chat. Hail, Patrick Mousson, who says the sooner companies realize that 90% of fans ain't woke, the non-woke fans will buy movie tickets, collectibles, and other merch. Don't piss us off. Yep. And I tell you a secret about woke fans. They don't buy merchandise. They don't support the show. They make a big mouth about, oh, the diversity is wonderful. Oh, it's so wonderful. You guys are so brave and stunning. And then they don't show up and watch it, and they don't buy anything. They're just a waste of fucking time, a bait and switch. The woke people, Hollywood, are Lucy with the football. And Hollywood is Charlie Brown kicking at that woke football that gets yanked away every single time because woke people, A, don't have any money, B, don't have any taste, and C, don't have any inclination whatsoever to purchase fan shit. That's just the truth. I'm sorry. The truth hurts, but it's true. That's what makes it truth. Digi Akuma with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Digi Akuma says to Gary in DC, is it fair to say that Michael Ironside was good in Highlander 2 and even he couldn't save the movie? I think that's eminently fair, Digi Akuma. I think Michael Ironside is pretty much good in every damn thing he does. And shit, I mean, look, you still had, Sean Connery in the movie. Sean Connery, Michael Ironside, couldn't save Highlander 2. At the time that I saw Highlander 2, I thought that it had taken me to an entirely new dimension of cinema, a vast sinkhole of suck. I could not imagine a movie getting worse than Highlander 2. Boy, was I wrong. Oh, God, was I wrong, folks. Highlander 2 is a fucking masterpiece compared to Star Trek Into Darkness. I mean, it's an order of magnitude better than Star Trek Into Darkness. Just about everything is better. than Star Trek Into Darkness. You could have a goddamn Progressive Flow commercial with Flo in a bikini taking a dump, and as loathsome as all of those elements would be, because I despise Flo with everything I am, it would still be better than Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Into Darkness. Every time that you think they can't get worse, they smack me across the face and say, "Oh, sure we can. Here, just hold our beer for a minute. We'll get so much worse." Matt Hicks with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Matt Hicks. Says, what are the odds that the Kurgan is cast as a female in the Highlander reboot? I couldn't even give them to you. I couldn't even give it. If it's the worst thing that they could possibly do, then the odds are high, because that seems to be their bar these days. They do the worst damn thing that could possibly be done. Progressive Flow versus Predator, says Broken Prophet. I'm rooting for the Predator in that case. Rooting for the Predator. Vigilante Williamson says Daisy Ridley's forehead versus the Predator. And James L. Fowler says, ooh, Charlie Brown versus Predator. You can see old Charlie Brown like hanging his head and walking through the forest as the three like laser lights zoom in on his bald head. That could be good. Rain Silver Splash with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Rain. Says, here's the problem. There are 12 canon volumes chronicling the history of Middle Earth. Oh boy, more seasons. More seasons of this wreck. Oh dear, that's terrible. Thank you, Rain Silver Splash. Well, looks like we're having no shortage of material for Amazon's A Lord of the Rings. Oh God, it's gonna suck. Hail, Richard Greeter. It's good to see you, man. How are you? And Catzilla with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Catzilla, says you got to be in Vegas in August, Doomcock. I'm thinking about it, Catzilla. I'm thinking about it. I would like to get out and meet some folks. I'm considering it. I'm considering it. Alan Troy with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Alan. Says, any way to extend the containment field to encompass Hollywood? Harvey could shake things up. By the way, I sent an image you can use when discussing KK. Oh, thank you, Alan. Did you send it by email at dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com, or did you send it to my Twitter DM? Either way, I'll check them all, and I'd like to see this Kathleen Kennedy image. A horrific thing to behold, but nevertheless, you might find some amusement there. IWD has joined the channel membership at the Dumentite level. Thank you, IWD, and welcome to the channel membership, my friend. Very much appreciate you. Outstanding. Love it when we get a new member. And Block Frog with a $2 super chat. Hail, Block Frog, says, I thought of you today listening to ELP, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Prog on. Ooh, what a lucky man he was. Ooh, what a lucky man he was. Well done, Block Frog. Good taste, sir. Good taste. Hail, Prog on. Damn right. Vince and Repeat. I like that name. With a $5 Australian super chat. Hail, Vince and Repeat, who says, hail, Doomcock and Nerdrotic. Resident Alien is funny, intelligent, with great music. Will you be watching and sentencing season 1 on the Inquisition? I actually have been watching Resident Alien. I was for a while, and then I got sidetracked, but I've got a whole bunch of them on my DVR, and I need to check them out. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I think we ought to go ahead and review it. I'll talk to Gary, see if he's watched it. It's fun. It's funny. I like it. Well done, Vince and Repeat. K-Biz with a $50 super chat of exceeding generosity. Hail, K-Biz. Thank you, sir. He says, come on, Gary. The PS5 is kind of sick. You know what, dude? I'm sorry that Gary left. But you know what I'm going to do? Right this minute, I am going to go ahead and DM him that message right now, my friend. All right, let's say, Come on, Gary. The PS5 is kinda sick. And I'll say a SC from K Biz. All right, brother. There you go. It is away, and Gary has it. Thank you, K Biz. I really appreciate that support for the channel, man. Very generous of you. Super Mastermind with a $5 super chat. Hail to the Super Mastermind. Says the Secret World is free on Steam. Has the best story ever for the first 25 hours worth. The Secret World on Steam. Wrenches, would you please shoot me a reminder to look that up? I'm popping it into the chat. If you would forward it to me, I would appreciate that. I will check it out, Super Mastermind. Thank you very, very much for that. NG1TEAV with a $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says, hail the experts, Gary, Doomcock, and all the wrenches and Inquisition torchbearers. May you never be the victim of the dark side of the internet. Oh, God, wouldn't wish that on anyone. Not anyone. Thank you, NG1TEAV. Very much appreciate that super chat, my friend, and hope you guys have had a fun time here on the Inquisition. Sorry, it's a shorter than average live stream, but we both have a lot of shit we've got to do. Flicks by Cody with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Flicks by Cody. Says, Last of Us remains the best game I've ever played. I had a dream they made a sequel that sucked, but fortunately that didn't happen. No, Flicks by Cody. It was just a bad dream. Don't pay any mind on that whatsoever. Actually, I've never played Last of Us, but I do own it. I got it actually bundled with my PS3. So I really do need to check that out. And thank you for the encouragement. I guess I'll break it out after I finish The Witcher 3. Also have the Ghosts of Sumishi. What of Sashimi? I forget what his name is, but I'm going to play that as well. I'm looking forward to playing that. James Hopkins with a $10 super chat. Thank you, James. Says, I saw Army of the Dead and just saw Fast 9. I had fun watching both. They were big, dumb, fun action movies. No politics, no agendas, which is exactly what we need in this woke SJW society we live in today. Shit. Well, you're making it sound good, James. Thank you, sir. I will check out Army of the Dead. I had a very negative feeling about it. James, people were saying that it was a great disappointment and ranking it very low, but I'm hearing enough stuff. I think I need to check it out. Ghost of Tsushima. That's what it was. Dr. Nerdly. Ghost of Tsushima. Absolutely. That's what I'm going to play. I'm going to play it next. But I will investigate this Steam game you spoke of because it sounds pretty good. Anti-derivative Jill with a $10 super sticker of Super Pair flying through the air. Super Pair! Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who rob or plunder. Super Pair, Super Pair, Super Pair. Thank you, Anti-derivative Jill, for that super sticker. And Tiki Dragon 1 with a $5 super chat says, hail, my lord. My birthday is tomorrow. Gonna have some fun on a sunny beach. Hail, Tiki Dragon 1. Harvey, would you sing happy birthday to Tiki Dragon 1?
I would be delighted, sir. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tiki Dragon 1. Happy birthday to you.
And many more, my friend. Enjoy that sunny beach. By God, I wish I was going to be on that sunny beach with you, man. My day is going to suck tomorrow. Oh, dear. Is it going to suck tomorrow? Tiara Starbrighter with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tiara. Says Tolkien was a Christian who would not have wanted swearing and overt sex in his works. He loved his wife dearly, but knew what to leave in the bedroom. Agreed. It goes against Tolkien's values. And I just hate seeing it. You know, I love nudity. Don't get me wrong, but not in Lord of the Rings. Not in Lord of the Rings, for God's sakes. Fred W. Manzo with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Fred. Says, have you heard anything about the Foundation series recently? Fred, I haven't heard a damn thing about it. Not a damn thing. I guess I will be obliged to get Apple TV for that, at which time I guess I will watch For All Mankind, Fred. But no, I've not heard a damn thing about it. Not a thing. Kennick with a $10 super chat. Hail Kennick says the devil is in hell to stay away from Detroit. Oh shit. What's going on in Detroit? Is something weird going on, or weirder than normal going on in Detroit? The devil is in hell to stay away from Detroit. Oh my God. What in God's name is going on in Detroit to warrant a super chat like that? Please let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. And Stewie Cthulhu with a popcorn super sticker. Thank you, Stewie, for the popcorn. And Mr. Zadok again with a $14.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Zadok. You've been very generous tonight, sir. And not only that, but you called to my attention at the Dead DC. God bless you at the Dead DC. Please, man, I hope you're still listening. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're not going to go and do anything to yourself, man. Please, no. Please just don't. I beg you. Please don't. But yeah, I don't know. That was just a funny super chat about the devil's in hell to avoid Detroit. So I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Zadok says, honestly, if you want to get Superman right, it's so easy. Just adapt All-Star Superman the way they did in DC Animated. And hell no to JJ Batman. Hell no. Yeah, Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, quite an imaginative take on Superman, drawn by Frank Quitely. I have that series, enjoyed it very much. JJ Batman, the only way that it's going to be any good at all is if JJ only put his name on it as an executive producer and has nothing to do with it creatively. If that's the case, maybe it might escape his curse, but I'm not holding my breath. I am not holding my breath. James L. Fowler with a $5 super chat. Thank you, James. Says, for these clowns movement, it's mandatory to use popular flagships as vehicles for their dogshit virtue signaling platform, or nobody would tune in. That's absolutely true, James. That's a shortcut. It achieves two different aims. It, as you said, it serves as a pre-launch platform with a pre-existing property that they can kind of shorthand their way into some kind of audience being deluded into thinking that they're making that actual property when they're not. And then number two, it helps them to degrade and corrupt our Western civilization, our geek mythology, our culture. And that seems to be an aim of theirs for whatever reason. I guess perhaps they're communists, Marxists, I don't know. But they do have an acute hostility to Western civilization. And I'm kind of fond of it myself, so I'm going to keep fighting. Thank you, James L. Fowler. NG1TEAV with a $5 super chat directed to Rennie A., one of our own wrenches. NG1TEAV says, hail the great, the beautiful, the taken. Rennie A., the one with the beautiful mind. You had us at Duck Fisney. You have many admirers. Wrenches, too. You have many's admiration is what he actually said. Well, Rennie, geez, you've got another fan. The Rennie A. Cult grows. And hail to Tyron Beard, by the way. Hail to Tyron Beard. Douglas Nelson with a $5 super chat. Hail to the Douglas Nelson. Thank you, Douglas. How are you, my friend? He says, did you see where J.J. Abrams said the reason he won't direct Superman is because he's tired of reboots and wants to do something original? No! I'm coming home, Elizabeth. Lord, take me now. Take me now. What the? Did he actually say that? Holy shit. Holy shit. Something like that, Kit Kat, in the chat. Yeah. Something like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm going to be incapacitated tomorrow. I've got to get some shit. I don't know. Albacore 3. I have not as of yet, but it's right here. Albacore 3. It's right here. I'm going to read it right now, brother. Thank you, Douglas Nelson. Holy shit. I did not see that. I can't imagine he actually said that. God, is there actual hope? Is there actual hope in the world? Is JJ turning over a new leaf? Holy shit. I'm stunned. Albacore 3 with a $5 super chat. Hail, Albacore 3. Thank you for your patience, my friend. Albacore 3 says, Doom Boy was too tired Friday night, sadly. I always look forward to Friday Night Frolic so much. Glad I caught this tonight. How late is tonight's show going? Not very late. I should have wrapped it up like an hour ago, honestly. But I hate to leave you guys hanging. But I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty soon, guys. I've got a lot I've got to do. And Douglas Nelson confirms it. It was not a joke. J.J. Abrams said he won't direct Superman. He's tired of reboots and wants to do something original. Well, good for him, man. Good for him. Oh, and Albacore. I can just read it as Albacore. Pun on metalcore. You are welcome, Albacore. I will absolutely take that to heart. And my dear friend Destiny Captain here, who has been having some difficulties here. I'm gonna read his super chat right now because I don't know how long this gentleman can stick around in the chat here. Destiny Captain with a $1.99 super chat says, thanks for all you do. Thank you, Destiny Captain, and I hope you're doing well. I hope things have gone well with what's going down, and God bless you, man. It's good to see you. I've been thinking about you and hoping you're doing okay, man. Hoping you're doing okay. Hail Albacore. It says, thanks so much, bud. Love you and hope I can stay up for the next Friday Night Frolics. Me too, man. Hope you can. Definitely hope you can. Daniel is traveling tonight on a plane with a $5 super chat. Hail Daniel says, Michelle Pfeiffer was 10 times the Harley Quinn as Catwoman than these new movies. Sexy as hell. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer is a beautiful woman. She was great as Catwoman. There's no doubt about it. You can't debate that, Daniel. Even the SJWs can't debate how good Michelle Pfeiffer was as Catwoman. And I didn't even like Batman Returns. I didn't even like that. It's a very dumb movie, but I like Michelle Pfeiffer in it. Nitpick with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Nitpick. Says SJW is less than Rainbow Gestapo. Is lesser than Rainbow Gestapo. They're pretty much equivalent, aren't they? Hail Nitpick. Thank you, my friend, for that super chat. Tobai Ibar has joined the channel membership. Thank you, Tobai Ibar. Wonderful to have you, Tobai. Wonderful to have you. And Solid Gamer 1998 with a $15 super chat. Thank you, Solid Gamer 1998 says, I was at the store earlier. Guess what I found? A full rack of Star Trek Below Deck. Oh, are they not moving units of Star Trek Below Deck? I wonder why. Oh, that's right. It sucked. That's why. Holy shit. Thank you, Solid Gamer 1998, for confirming what anyone with any sense already knew. Thank you, Solid Gamer 1998. And Glenn Saunders with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Glenn. Says it's getting to the point. It's getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore. No, it's getting to the point where the Inquisition is going to have to be 10 hours long to cover the woke press releases, huh? Whew, 10-hour Inquisition. Maybe so, Glenn. Maybe so. You may be quite correct. I mean, the worst shit is just coming out, and we're here to cover it. Tonight's an unusual night. It's going to be shorter, although it's actually turning into about damn near the same length. God, I've got to get going. George Mulho, thank you for joining at the arch villain level. Thank you for letting us know you're okay. I know that you've been struggling and not feeling well, my friend. And thank you for being back here tonight and joining at the arch villain level. I am looking forward to speaking with you probably sometime this week. I think this week we're going to have an arch villain live stream. Thank you, George Mulho. And Andy Masterson with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Andy Masterson. Says, is it toxic to show a girl holding a pad while a boy kicks it? It's very demonstrative. You know what, Andy? You got something there. You might be right. God knows somebody, some creepy little SJW piece of shit is gonna complain about that someday. You watch, Andy. I think if you called this one, we're gonna start calling you Nostradamus. You are a prognosticator extraordinaire, Andy, as well as a great friend and a great artist. Thank you, Andy Masterson, sir. You rock. Jar Aid with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Jar Aid. Says alien technology versus bows and arrows. She wins. LOL. God. Yep. Alien technology versus bows and arrows of a little girl that weighs 90 pounds. Oh, of course she's going to win. You betcha. You betcha. John Platt with a £5 super chat. Thank you, John. Says, hail Doomcock and Gary. Have you watched Zack Snyder's bank heist zombie movie Army of the Dead on Netflix yet? I've seen it and it's really good. Well, that's it. That's it. I'm going to watch it. Thank you, John Platt. The polling is in. There have been enough people telling me I need to watch this thing. I'm going to check it out. Thank you, John Platt. And Stewie Cthulhu with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Stewie, again, sir. He says, hashtag RIP Predator. Yeah, it's dead, Jim. It's dead. It's dead. Dead on arrival. Dead before arrival. Dead before it even got in theaters. That's the stupidest damn idea I've ever heard. Midnight Mike with a super sticker of a thumbs up. Thank you, Midnight Mike, sir, for that. Alex Oogle with a $50 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Alex Oogle, excuse me. Alex Oogle says, a while ago, you both agreed there was no Westworld season 2 and 3 due to Hopkins' character, a good white man, killing himself. What if seasons 2 and 3 were devastatingly accurate portrayals of a universe playing out when the good white man bows out? So like the good white man was a fundamental pillar of reality, in that when you take a good white man out of the mix, the entire universe starts slipping into entropy and decay. Kind of like that idea. Now you're thinking, Alex Oogle. Thank you, Alex. Well done, sir. And thank you for the very generous super chat. What a notion. Oh my God. The woke wankers would hate it, which means I love it. Thank you, Alex Oogle. And R. Fletch with a $5 super chat. You wonderful, wonderful cat. Thank you, R. Fletch. Says, Babylon 5, Susan Ivanova versus Predator. Pray for a quick end, Predator. Thank you, R. Fletch. Sir, it's always great to see you, man. You're a good pal. Hail Felix the Fletch. Felix the Fletch. That's what you should call yourself, R. Fletch. Felix the Fletch. Because you got Felix right there on your avatar. Felix the Fletch should be perfect. Galaxy Express Media with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Galaxy Express Media. Says, wait, now how is Amber a Sioux Indian tribe member playing a Comanche? Isn't that cultural appropriation and unwoke? It is, and we need to protest in the strongest possible terms, don't you think? Can't let them get away with this shit, can we? No, I don't think so. I think we've got to fight. I think we've got to hold their feet to the fire, make them suffer for this affront. Lance with a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Lance. Says, now I kind of want to test the whole woke inclusiveness thing. Make it 2 predators and they're gay. Would they accept that or freak out? 2 predators? So it'd be like, we could make it like the odd predators, right? Felix Predator and Oscar Predator. And one of them is a real slob and leaves like spinal cords and skulls lying around the pad, and the carpet is bloodstained. And then Felix is very neat and clean. He's got his his spinal cord and skull in a very immaculate display case, and he's dusting and is telling Oscar Predator, you just need to stop littering. And Oscar Predator says, Felix, I'm going to put 2 in your head if you don't stop dusting my goddamn spinal cord. It'd be hilarious. Neil Simon's Predator. That's a good theme song. Incognitus Jones with a $5 super chat. Hail Incognitus Jones. Says, I feel like woke Hollywood could be more accurately described as a bad religion or cult than a cancer. People are choosing woke. No one chooses cancer. Well said, sir. Well said. And Aztec01 with a $20 super chat. Actually, I think he just sent one earlier. Yes, he retracted. He sent 2 $20 super chats. Aztec01 saying, tomorrow calling, go to bed, get some rest. You're right, Aztec1. It's almost going on 4 hours now, and I've got to get up early. I've got to. Oh my God, I'm so screwed. Oh, my tooth hurts. I feel like shit. You're right. All right. Guys, I hate to do this. I've got a handful of super chats left. I will absolutely do them as a super chat square up. Maybe even this week, what I'll do is a little live stream in the evening and just start with these super chats that are missing here now. To maybe do another show one way or the other. We won't forget about these super chats, folks. I've almost gotten through all of them, but I've really got to get to bed. I've got to knock myself out. I've got to work. Oh God, this is going to suck tomorrow. I don't want to go.
Well, you're being a whiner.
I know.
You don't like medical shit, do you?
No, I don't.
So you're whiny.
I'm whiny. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. All right. Well, thank you guys very, very much. Y'all are the best. Thank you. I will absolutely do a wonderful super chat square up for you guys, and make it special like the other one. I'm sorry I can't get to all of them tonight. I've got to get to bed. It's been a long day, but listen, thank you. I will get all of these super chats out in the next few days, and wish me luck tomorrow. I'm going to need it. All right, from the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock and Harvard J. Cthulhu.
Hello.
And Sabu, the prehistoric doom squirrel, saber-toothed doom squirrel. Bidding you all, my friends, you have a great week. I will absolutely read these super chats on a square up. We will have it. And I hope maybe we will have Exozone later. Love you guys. Thank you for attending the Inquisition. Hope to see you on Gary's channel next Sunday as well. Good night, you guys. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.